Seattle, Washington, Meho Shah. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Ken Jennings.
Thank you, Johnny. Welcome back to the Tournament of Champions. In yesterday's quarterfinal, Nilesh Vinjamori pulled off the dominant runaway victory with 33 correct responses. That's the most we've seen all season. Today, Mehul, Ryan, and Will are back on the Alex Trebek stage, each dreaming of a big win like that one. Good luck to all three of you. Let's see what happens. It all starts with the Jeopardy round and these categories. U.S. cities is up first. Then we have homo nimble on your feet, fitness, in the air, followed by pre-boots, and finally, let's put two things together. Why not? What could go wrong? Mehul, you go first.
Let's do U.S. cities for 800.
Named for a city in France, this state capital lies along the Winooski River. That's Montpelier, Vermont. Back to you, Mehul.
City 6.
Incorporated in 1961, this Florida city lives up to its name today around 7 a.m. Ryan.
What, Sunrise?
Yes.
U.S. cities 1,000.
Take a load off in this third largest Iowa city that hosts a famous jazz festival honoring native son Bix Beiderbecke. Take a load off like you're sitting in a Davenport. Back to you, Ryan.
Homo nimble on your feet 1,000.
Pray, or an excavation to remove stone. Will.
What is quarry?
You are correct.
In the air for 1,000.
Look out, we're surrounded by this, the lowest layer of Earth's atmosphere. Ryan.
What's the troposphere?
Good for 1,000.
In the air 800.
These delicate high-level clouds are made entirely of ice crystals. Mehul.
What are stratus?
No. Ryan.
What are cirrus?
Cirrus is the right cloud.
Fitness for 1,000.
As a model of the universe opposed to the Big Bang, it's in trouble. As a low-intensity type of cardio training, it's still popular. Not Big Bang, but steady state. Ryan?
Fitness 800.
Seen more often at senior swim than a Katie Ledecky workout, it does help work your obliques. Mehul.
What's side stroke?
That's the right stroke.
In the air 6.
Answer. Daily double, Mehul. You've worked your way back to no money at all, but you can wager up to 1,000.
Let's do 1,000.
All right, here's your clue. In the air. These avians can rotate their wings to generate lift while flapping both up and down, enabling them to hover in the air.
What are hummingbirds?
Good for 1,000, yes. You're tied for second.
Let's do two things for 2.
First name of Koufax or Duncan, plus a frozen waffle brand once owned by Kellogg's, equals this not quite a Southern California city. Ryan.
What's San Diego?
San Diego, yes.
Two things together 1,000.
5-letter synonym for terrible that also describes the truth in a film title, plus the Willis one in Illinois, equals this European eyesore. This is a new landmark, the Awful Tower. Ryan, back to you.
Two things 800.
A word preceding punishment when that's applied to a body, plus married name of Arkansas Governor Sarah, equals this demoted fried chicken magnate. Mehul.
What is Corporal Sanders?
Corporal Sanders, right.
Two things 6.
The state where you'll find Sleepy Hollow and New Paltz, plus shortened plural for a cloth used to blow the nose. Seems like you are not fans of the New York Yankees. Back to you, Mehul.
Two things 4.
But you still stayed with it, huh? First name of the guy who lives in a pineapple under the sea, plus activity with Star Promenade and arm turns equals this dude with new moves. Again, first and last time he'll be a Jeopardy response. SpongeBob Square Dance. No more of those. I'm sorry, Mehul.
Just what I was getting at. Cities 4.
There's no place like this Alaskan gold rush town located on the southern coast of the Seward Peninsula. Mehul.
What's Nome?
No place like Nome takes you to 2,200. You're just 400 off the lead. We'll be right back with more Jeopardy Tournament of Champions after these messages.
America's top 2 mattress brands out of money, and the largest chain of mattress stores deep financial distress, while the Dump closes our gigantic bedding warehouse. No wonder California handmade heirlooms that sell for $6,300 get dumped for $14.95. The outlet for the #1 rated Tempur-Pedics and Artisan Signs Stearns & Foster's. $2,000 Perfect Sleepers and Posturepedics, $4.95. Financial distress and warehouse closings. The most luxurious beds, 10 cents on the dollar. One weekend only at the Dump.
People's Gas. They keep pushing to raise your utility bills to pay for their $13 billion boondoggle. And if they win, it'll be like giving them a blank check. Your heating bills could double. Customers could face yearly price hikes through the year 2040, all while they keep making record profits. The ICC has already stopped them once, so speak up and tell the ICC to shut down these unfair rate hikes again.
Here, anything is possible, as long as you can imagine it. And that's what makes Orlando unbelievably real.
Frustrated and confused when it comes to your child's education?
I needed that burden lifted from me. I needed a lifeline. Huntington was that lifeline. I know my child's future is bright.
Huntington gets results. 1-800-CAN-LEARN.
Get beautiful new floors right now with Luna's incredible 70% off sale. That's carpet, laminate, and even hardwood, 70% off. You'll get professional installation and can be confident with Luna's exclusive Love Your Floors promise. Transform your home with an amazing 70% off carpet, laminate, and hardwood. Reserve your free in-home appointment at luna.com or call
773-202-LUNA. Promotional consideration provided by Sandals, made of Caribbean.
Will Stewart is a political organizer from Nashville. And Will, I understand you're celebrating your return to Jeopardy with your family in an unusual way.
Yes, so I brought some family and friends. It's important to commemorate the experience. Last night, my mom surprised us with these temporary tattoos of my face from the last time I was on Jeopardy. Yeah, just a little bit of a extra pick-me-up. If I need any answers, put it in here.
See if past Will remembers?
Yeah, exactly.
And the family also has the tattoos, is that right? Look at that. What dedicated supporters. Ryan Manton is a systems administrator from Columbus. Do you want to show us your tattoo?
No, unfortunately, I don't have any yet.
You've actually had some Jeopardy experience since the last time you were here with me, right?
Yeah, so I harped on about how much I love my wife so much that the fine folks at Jeopardy made a show just for us to play together on. We were on Pop Culture Jeopardy. She's actually in the audience, and our friend Eric, is out there too. And about 2 weeks ago, our first episode aired. It's the knockout round, and we happened to win that one. So everybody should watch us in the quarterfinals.
Congratulations. But you're cheating on me with Colin Jost. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Absolutely.
You don't have any regrets at all?
No.
You're poly Jeopardyist.
Yeah.
Well done. Congratulations on your success on both shows. Mayhal Shah is back, a software engineer from Seattle. And we know about your life list as a birder, right? Mayhal, you were telling us about the birds you've been collecting. Any updates on that front?
Yeah, I was driving out around Blaine with my daughter and thinking about the Tournament of Champions, feeling like kind of unsure of myself. And then I saw a harlequin duck, and it's definitely my second favorite duck of all time.
Your second favorite duck?
Second favorite
Is it
duck.
a good omen to see a second favorite duck near the Canadian border?
I mean, I guess we'll find out.
We're going to find out. But right now, you do have control of the board, Mayhal. Make a selection.
Let's do Hominimble 800.
Part of the body, or a pro wrestler who purposely antagonizes fans. Come on, ref. How did you not see that? Mayhal.
What's a heel?
Right.
Nimble 6.
Extremely sensitive to the touch, or a smaller ship used to assist a larger one. Any below deck fans playing now? Ryan.
What's a tender?
It is a tender.
Fitness 600.
This company's star instructors for member workouts have included Kristen McGee for yoga and Cody Rigsby on the bike. Mayhal.
What's Peloton?
You got it.
Fitness 4.
Get fit with this fighting sport, whose name indicates it uses hands and feet. MMA adds other moves, like grappling. Will.
What's kickboxing?
Right.
Pre-boots for 1,000.
Whether it was Rosalind Sanchez in 2021 or Ricardo Montalban in 1977, your Fantasy Island host had this last name. Who is Rourke? Back to you, Will.
Pre-boots for 800.
In 2018, Juliet Higgins helped solve mysteries in Hawaii on this show. But back in 1980, it was Jonathan Higgins on the case. Mayhall.
What's Hawaii 5-0?
I'm sorry, no. Ryan.
What's Magnum PI?
That's the right show.
Pre-boot 600.
There was a time, 2013, when Chris Hardwick hosted At Midnight. But today it's this comedian who's on After Midnight. Mayhall.
Who's Tomlinson?
Taylor Tomlinson is right.
Pre-boot's 4.
Nicolette Sheridan and Elaine Hendricks both played Alexis in 2019 on this nighttime soap. But Joan Collins was enough in 1981. On Dynasty. Mayhall?
Air 4.
These two elements make up more than 90% of the air you breathe. Mayhall?
What are oxygen and nitrogen?
You got them both.
Air 2.
In 1961, an airplane looking for bugs in the atmosphere found one of these wood eaters flying at 19,000 feet. Mayhall?
What's a termite?
Yes.
Nimble 4.
To follow stealthily during a hunt, or the main stem of a plant. Will?
What's a stalk?
Yes.
Pre-boots for 200.
They're not saints was a tagline for this 2011 show with Minka Kelly as one of the title trio. Jacqueline Smith was heavenly in 1976. Will?
What's Charlie's Angels?
That's the right show.
Homonimble for 200.
To scoop water out of a boat, or to leave suddenly to avoid a bad situation. Mayhall.
What's bail?
Yes.
Cities 2.
More than 30% of its approximately 105,000 residents are students at the University of Colorado. Will?
What's Boulder?
Boulder's right. Here's the last clue in fitness. Sets of these to elevate you and raise your heart rate include LA's Prospect ones and DC's Exorcist ones. Those are famous stairs. It's a close game. Mayhall has a $200 lead as we leave the Jeopardy round. That means Double Jeopardy is up next. Don't go anywhere.
If you have Graves' disease, your eye symptoms could mean something more. That gritty feeling can't be brushed away. Even a little blurry vision can distort things, and something serious may be behind those itchy eyes. Up to 50% of people with Graves' could develop a different condition called thyroid eye disease, which should be treated by a different doctor. See an expert. Find a TED eye specialist at isitted.com.
Premium meat for a natural diet.
Most people don't realize how processed typical dog food is. At the Farmer's Dog, we believe dogs should be able to get their daily nutrition without the excess processing.
The digestibility is just better. We have the right amount of protein, the right amount of fat, the right amount of nutrients being added. But it's real food.
Everybody wants to take care of their dog in the best way that they can. Our mission is just to help them do that.
Driving a Nissan Sentra with sport-tuned suspension is kind of like driving a legend. Drive the award-winning Nissan Sentra today.
Now get a low $219 per month lease on Sentra.
These hands care for the herd. My hands need to be tough and sensitive. When my hands are dry and cracking, it's hard to do my job. That's why I use O'Keeffe's.
It's America's #1 selling hand cream for guaranteed relief.
And if it works for these hands, it'll work for yours.
Also try our new hand and body lotion.
You'll never make it to the top. How much higher must you go on like this? You're getting sick. It's not Mount Everest. It's just a set of stairs. Pause. Just breathe through it.
What makes Chipotle chicken so different from everybody else?
Yeah, we cook. We actually cook it. It's naturally raised, no artificial anything.
It's not frozen.
It's never frozen, ever.
Ever?
Ever.
No.
No.
At Chipotle.
No freezers. It's really fresh.
Are you 50 or older? Well, this news is for you. The CDC now recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Why? If you're 50 or older, even if you're healthy, you're 6 times more likely to be hospitalized. So schedule at vaxassist.com.
Get everything you need to complete your door project at Menards. Mastercraft has been making high-quality doors for over 50 years. Choose from our huge in-stock selection or design your door your way in-store or on Menards.com. With our wide range of styles and options, you can choose the perfect door for your home. Save time and get a professional bright white finish with this ready-to-install 6-panel interior pre-hung door for only $129.99.
Save big money at Menards.
Driving a Nissan Sentra with sport-tuned suspension is kind of like driving a legend. Drive the award-winning Nissan Sentra today.
Now get 3.9% financing for 60 months on Sentra.
Closed captioning sponsored in part by...
I'm Howie Mandel, the newest ambassador for Skechers. I went to the store to buy hands-free Skechers slip-ins, and I said I was an ambassador. The owner called me, and I said, yes, Skechers slip-ins.
I am Tony Hawk, and like many of you, I take a statin to reduce cholesterol. But statins can also deplete CoQ10 levels. That's why my doctor recommended Cunol CoQ10. Cunol, the brand I trust.
This is where the excitement ramps up in Double Jeopardy. 2 daily doubles, these categories, players. Counts and countesses, followed by filmmakers, some Asian history for you, then communication, authors, and finally, starts and ends with the same vowel. Will, you're up first. Make a selection.
Asian history for 1600.
The killing fields of Cambodia got their name due to the brutality of this French-named communist group. Will.
What is Khmer Rouge?
Yes.
Asian history for 2000.
This Sri Lankan guerrilla force attacked Colombo's airport in 2001, destroying many of the country's commercial planes. Mayhol.
Were the Tamil Tigers?
Good for 2000.
Asian history 12.
Oz Beg was both great and powerful as Khan of this group, whose territory ranged from the Carpathians to Siberia. Will.
What is the Golden Horde?
You are correct.
Starts and ends with the same vowel for 1600.
In War and Peace, Pierre is criticized for preaching the doctrines of this secret group. Mayhol.
Were the Masons?
I'm sorry, no. Ryan.
Were the Illuminati?
That fits the category, yes.
Starts and ends with the same vowel, 2000.
Ismat Chugtai, a writer in this South Asian language, shocked some with her 1942 story, The Quilt, about female-female intimacy. Ryan.
What's Urdu?
It is Urdu.
Authors, 2000.
In 2023, an amateur scholar found a creepy story by this Irish novelist, Gibbet Hill, from an 1890 newspaper and unpublished since. We know him better for a different creepy story. That's Bram Stoker of Dracula fame. Back to you, Ryan.
Communication 2000.
It's alternation of types of speech, common among black employees moving in and out of African-American vernacular English. Mayhol.
What's code switching?
It is.
Count 16.
18th century charlatan Count Cagliostro posed as this, a transmuter of base metal, if you can pose as a job that's already a scam. Ryan.
What's an alchemist?
Fake alchemist, yeah.
Counts and countesses, 2000.
Found in The Hague, one of Holland's great museums was the house, or huis, of this man, and there's a portrait of him inside. That's Count Moritz, the Moritz huis. Back to you, Ryan.
Filmmakers, 2000.
12 Years a Slave was the first film to win the Best Picture Oscar that was directed and produced by a black filmmaker, this Brit. Ryan.
Who's McQueen?
Good for 2000.
Filmmaker, 1600.
In the 30s, he directed upbeat films like Mr. Deeds Goes to Town, with Gary Cooper in the title role. Ryan.
Who's Capra?
Yes.
Counts and countesses, 1200.
The Count of Cavour helped unify this European nation and became its first prime minister in 1861, inspired by his youthful love for the radical Nina. Will.
What is Italy?
It is Italy.
Starts and ends with the same vowel for 1200.
A region of ancient Greece, it was the pastoral home of the god Pan. Mayhol.
What's Anatolia?
Sorry, no. Will.
What's Arcadia?
That's right.
Communication for 1600.
Answer. Daily double. You've gone from third to second place. Will, this is an opportunity for you.
All of it.
Okay. That will put you in the lead by $2,000, but you've got to be right in communication. The Baltic Finnic languages include Finnish and this national language spoken due south across the Viro Strait.
What is Estonian?
Estonian is right. You are in the lead. Go again, Will.
Authors for 16.
Answer. The other daily double. The last one in the game, Will. You're betting from the lead this time.
$100.
We've seen the dichotomy of man here. $100 at stake in authors. Here's your clue. Sinclair Lewis created this guy, a symbol of materialist conformity. Matthew Broderick played him on stage in 2024.
Who is Babbitt?
Babbitt is right for a big $100.
Asian history for 800.
During the Vietnam War, this Asian city was the headquarters of American military operations. Ryan.
What's Saigon?
Right.
Communication, 1200.
Since 1991, this three-letter abbreviation has referred to familiar text messaging technology. Mayhall.
What's SMS?
Yes.
Val 8.
Shapely name for President's Park South, a 52-acre location near the White House used for gatherings and other activities. It's called the ellipse. Mayhall?
Val 4.
It's the collective term for all the people in an area eligible to vote. Will?
What is electorate?
Good for you as a political organizer. You got it.
Asian history for 400.
West Papua became a part of this country in 1969 as its Irian Jaya province. Mayhall.
What's Indonesia?
Yes.
Counts 8.
Countess Jacqueline de Riebe was one of the original women Truman Capote compared to these birds. Capote, famous for his swans. Mayhall?
Counts 4.
Before her contemporary, Charles Perrault, Countess d'Aulnoy used this name for a type of story, conte de fées in French. Conte de fées are fairy tales. Back to you, Mayhall.
Communication 8.
In a 2017 movie, one of these title objects in Missouri reads, "And still no arrests?" Ryan.
What's 3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri?
Yeah, a billboard. We'll take that.
Authors 1,200.
Early novelists often titled books after a character. See Henry Fielding's Joseph Andrews, Jonathan Wild, and this 1749 tale. Will.
What is Robinson Crusoe?
It is not. Mayhall or Ryan? Fielding wrote Tom Jones. Back to you, Ryan.
Filmmakers 1,200.
He directed Francis Ha and Mistress America, both co-written with star Greta Gerwig. Will.
Who is Baumbach?
That's correct. Nick of time.
Authors for 800.
This author of The Right Stuff defined the new journalism as using fiction techniques in reporting. Mayhall.
Who's Wolf?
Yes.
Authors 4.
Andrew Neiderman has written 60-plus books under the name of this Flowers in the Attic author, plus her bio, The Woman Beyond the Attic. Those books by V.C. Andrews. 3 clues left, Mayhall.
Communications 4.
Rhyming synonym for a name check. Will.
What is name drop?
No, I'm sorry. Mayhall or Ryan? A name check or a shout out. Back to you, Mayhall.
Filmmakers 4.
The 2020 movie On the Rocks reunited Bill Murray and this director, who Murray says was a child when they made Lost in Translation. Mayhall.
Who's Coppola?
Can you be more
Sophia?
specific? Sophia, yes. Final clue, fresh out of film school, he insisted on directing his screenplay of Boys in the Hood, which starred Ice Cube and Cuba Gooding Jr. Mayhall.
Who's Spike Lee?
No, sorry. Ryan or Will? It's John Singleton. So Will keeps that $500 lead heading into final. Here's the category that will decide things, champs. Latin phrases. You 3 work on your wagers. We'll take a break and come back with the fifth.
Love saving money? Then it's time to join AARP. Get your first full year for just $15 with automatic renewal and get a second membership free.
That's a great deal.
You'll have access to hundreds of benefits to help you save money, stay healthy, and have fun. Plus everyday discounts at top retailers, dining, and more. Your first year is just $15 with automatic renewal and get a second membership and an insulated trunk organizer for free.
Call 800-708-1439 or go online today.
This is Poof, the fastest growing pet odor eliminator in the world. Oh! It's safe for people, pets, and the planet. Powerful enough to use on the very worst organic odors. Yet it's safe enough to use on pet toys, their beds, even on them. The choice is yours. Harsh chemicals and fragrances or the power of Poof. There's only one Poof available online and at these stores. If it's not Poof, it stinks.
We'll be back with Final Jeopardy right after this.
Coming up first at 4, breaking news. New details in the investigation into that deadly midair collision over Washington, D.C. What we are learning about the victims.
Also ahead after Final Jeopardy, car stolen from a parking lot ends up in a violent, deadly crash. What we're learning about this wreck. Larry?
Rain is spreading up from the south, and it's going to be a rainy night tonight and a real wet start to our Friday. We'll talk about heavy rounds of rain and the threat for some flooding concerns for us. All coming up at 4 o'clock. We'll see you then.
Cameras not allowed here since 9/11.
Now, the ABC7I team takes you behind the scenes of the world's largest water treatment plant of its kind here in Chicago.
Every day they perform like 900 tests.
An exclusive look at how your drinking water is kept safe and protected from the risk of outside threats.
If they're able to get in, they'll be able to shut down pumps.
What's being done to protect you and your water?
So safe from hackers.
Tonight at 10 on Eyewitness News.
Popeyes has the wing game on lock for your watch party. With 8 crispy, bold Louisiana wing flavors in bone-in or boneless, you just might have everyone chanting MVP in your direction.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Experience the spectacular San Francisco Chinese New Year Parade live. Enter for a chance to win a trip for 2, including round-trip airfare and hotel in San Francisco. Go to abc7chicago.com and watch the Chinese New Year Parade February 15th, wherever you stream ABC7.
Our champions have wagered based on Latin phrases as a final Jeopardy category. Let's show them the clue. After Camillagate, a fire at Windsor Castle, and marriage problems in her family, Queen Elizabeth II dubbed 1992 this. 30 seconds. Good luck. Mayhal Shah's up first. He had $7,400, and he wrote down, what is an annus horribilis? And I'm afraid we cannot accept that, Mayhal. What did you wager? 7,001 will take you down to $399. Pop Culture Jeopardy champ Ryan Manton is up next, 14,400. What did he come up with? Annum non grato?
Non grata. I just made something up.
Like, not a great year? That's in the spirit of the right response, but it's also incorrect. Ryan, how much did you wager? You lose 501, taking you down to 13,899. Will Stewart had a small lead heading into final. What did he come up with? Anno terribilis. No. Mayhal, you were just a syllable away. It's annus horribilis. But because you dropped a vowel, you were a syllable off, and we cannot accept that response. So it's going to come down to Will's wager here. 14,000 drops him down to 900 in second place, and it puts Ryan Manton in the TOC semifinals. How about that? Congratulations. The Tournament of Champions continues tomorrow. We'll see you back here then. Take care.
Right now at 4, tragedy in our nation's capital. No survivors in a deadly midair collision near Reagan National Airport. We have new details on the investigation into this crash.
We are also learning more about those on board both aircraft, what those who knew some of the victims are saying. We have team coverage.
New developments in a disturbing murder case on the city's northwest side. What we're learning about the search for suspects.
And the City College reviving a restaurant, what it means for both students and the surrounding community.
Live from Chicago, ABC7 Eyewitness News at 4 starts right now.
A heartbreaking recovery mission continues in the Potomac River. A U.S. Army helicopter crashed last night into an American Airlines flight that was preparing to land at Reagan National Airport. This collision sending both the chopper and the passenger jet into that water. Here's a live look at that grim scene. There are no survivors, and this is the deadliest commercial plane crash in the United States in more than 15 years.
So here is the latest on what we know about this investigation. There are reports at this hour that only one air traffic controller was handling a job that normally is meant for the responsibility of 2 people. Sources tell ABC News that while combining the positions is common based on flight volume, they say that decision happened earlier than usual. NTSB investigators are now on the scene telling us the flight recorders have not yet been retrieved. That is in part due to the recovery mission that was taking place. But dive teams are now out of the water, saying that they cannot recover any more victims until the fuselage of the plane is removed.
Among the 67 people killed, several figure skaters and their coaches on their way back home from a competition in Kansas. We have live team coverage of this tragic air disaster. ABC 7's John Garcia is live in a moment, but let's start with our I-Team's Mark Rivera with the latest developments coming into our newsroom. Mark?
Yeah, Rob and Judy, Black Hawk flight experts that we spoke to today say the military helicopter pilot acknowledged to air traffic control at Reagan Airport the warning of a landing plane and would have been actively looking up out of the aircraft from their position for that plane at the time of the catastrophic collision.
You had a pilot problem from the standpoint of the helicopter. I mean, because it was visual. It was a very clear night. It was cold but clear, and clear as you could be. The American Airlines plane had lights blazing.
President Trump speaking this morning from the White House briefing room on the massive search and recovery effort taking place in the Potomac River throughout the night to reach any of the dozens of victims presumed dead after the fiery midair collision between an Army Black Hawk helicopter and a passenger jet at Reagan National Airport in the nation's capital. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth shedding light on the soldiers lost.
A young captain, Staff Sergeant, and CW2, Chief Warrant Officer, on a routine annual retraining of night flights on a standard corridor for a continuity of government mission.
67 people are presumed dead, including several figure skaters, parents, and coaches. The NTSB now charged with investigating the crash.
If we find something that is a significant issue that warrants immediate action, we will not hesitate to make those recommendations and make them public.
The plane was on final approach to land just after 8:45 last night when it was hit. Questions now swirling over the actions of the Black Hawk pilot and Reagan air traffic controllers. Illinois Senator Tammy Duckworth, who flew Black Hawk helicopters, weighing in this afternoon.
Their flight path should have been hugging the east bank of the Potomac River, so they should not have been within the flight path of that landing aircraft. So part of what we're going to be looking to see is did one of the aircraft stray away latitude sideways in the airspace from the route that they were supposed to be on.
While Lewis University instructor Michael Julius, a 32-year veteran air traffic controller, says he's not second-guessing the actions of the tower.
It's just an unfortunate chain of events is the best way to put it. Okay, we try to avoid that, obviously, every day. And we move thousands of traffic a day and, unnoticed. And unfortunately, with our business, if it's noticed, then you're talking to somebody like myself.
Now, about 40 bodies have been recovered so far, including one of the Army soldiers. Crews, though, are bracing for the real possibility that some of the victims will not be recovered because of the fireball that resulted from that collision. Judy?
Just devastating details, Mark. Thank you. And some of the victims of that crash had just attended a figure skating championship in Kansas. Several Chicago area skaters were at that same competition and knew some of the victims aboard the American Airlines flight. ABC 7's John Garcia is live at Twin Rinks in Buffalo Grove, where local skaters are now grieving. And John, this is a very tight-knit community.
Absolutely, very, very close. A small family-like atmosphere, actually. There are some skaters on the ice right now, some young skaters, but there are also a number of skaters from Twin Rinks who were in Wichita for the national championships over the weekend. Several of them say they lost close friends in this tragedy.
It is a somber mood at the rink this morning among those going through the motions on the ice. Chicago's own Lorenzo Alano. He should be celebrating the National Junior Championship he won this weekend in Wichita. Instead, he and the rest of the skating community are mourning the loss of many of their own in the mid-air collision in Washington, D.C. last night.
It's still heartbreaking because we see them often and we know about them, and it's just horrible.
A number of other skaters who train at Twin Rinks in Buffalo Grove also competed in Wichita but are back home now. Many of those on the ill-fated flight last night had stayed a few extra days for a developmental camp. Jane Johnson was close to several of them.
I was literally talking to a few of them before takeoff, and it was just a huge shock to me. I think I'm still in denial.
Alexa Gasparotto should be celebrating landing a rare triple axel in practice recently. She says the skating community is like a family. They get to know each other pretty well after spending a huge chunk of their lives at ice rinks.
I can't even get the words out to you because there's just so many thoughts going through my mind.
Coach Jeremy Allen has been around the sport for most of his life and grew up hearing about the tragic plane crash in 1961 that killed members of the U.S. national team.
It's such a tragedy, and this is something that's going to take a long time for our community to get over.
Coach Allen says after hearing so much about that crash in 1961 that killed members of the U.S. national team en route to Prague, the World Championships, says he never imagined it could happen again, especially in this day and age. Live in Buffalo Grove, John Garcia, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Yeah, we are thinking about all of the families. John, thank you. We also know this afternoon. Timothy Lilly was the first officer on the American Airlines flight. His family says he was an Army veteran and actually flew Black Hawk helicopters in that area during his time in the service. He had just recently gotten engaged. Our coverage of this tragedy will continue on the news at 4:30 with a report from the scene on what is happening right now. Also on the news at 5 o'clock, we will hear from people taking some of the first flights out of Reagan National after it reopened this morning. And we will continue to monitor the latest developments in this D.C. midair crash. You can follow our coverage on our air, our digital platforms, and wherever you stream.
Developing story here in Chicago. Sources tell ABC 7 two people of interest are in custody in connection with the murder of a 63-year-old man in Norwood Park. George Levin was found tied up in his basement near Talcott and Olympia on Sunday night. The coroner says he died of multiple injuries, and so far there's no word on any motive. A crash late this morning in Will County killed 2 people and injured 4 others. Look at the wreckage. This happened on US 45 near Offner Road, not far from Manhattan. Illinois State Police say the crash involved a garbage truck and 2 passenger cars. Crash under investigation. We don't know yet what caused it.
The first full day of jury deliberations now underway in the trial of former Illinois House Speaker Michael Madigan. Today we learned that jurors will be deliberating on Fridays. That's different from the 14 weeks of testimony when Fridays were days off for them. Madigan and co-defendant Mike McLean face bribery and racketeering charges. Both of them deny any wrongdoing. Deliberations are expected to take several days.
Another day of mild weather. It has been comfortable. Now some rain might be moving in.
Yeah, and some of that rain could be heavy come tomorrow. Meteorologist Larry Mowry is here with your ABC 7 AccuWeather forecast. Larry.
Yeah, you get a little round of rain coming in this evening, and then it gets heavier overnight tonight and first thing tomorrow morning. But it was mild today. Not quite a record high, but we got to 50 at O'Hare, 49 at Midway. Record high is 55, set back in 1988. The average high today, 32 degrees, so well above average. Things are cooling down now. The clouds are thickening up over the city, and there's rain to the south. And look what that rain has done to the temperatures. It's 39 now in Kankakee, 43 in Peatone, but we're still at 50 in Waukegan, where the rain is yet to make it that far north. But take a look at live Doppler 7 Max radar. Scattered showers down to the south are lifting off towards the east-northeast, so we'll see some rain spread in later this evening. Most of these will just be kind of showery type weather with some drizzle coming in as well. The heaviest of the rain, at least this evening, will stay to our south, but during the morning tomorrow, we get some pretty heavy slugs of moisture to come in that could produce some heavy downpours just in time for that morning commute. Look at 8:30 in the morning tomorrow. Could get a little messy tomorrow morning with some heavy rain, even some lightning tomorrow morning. We'll talk more about how much rain's coming our way and some flooding concerns all coming up in a few moments.
All right, Larry, thank you. Coming up, CPS board members addressing ICE arrests in Chicago and what needs to be done to protect students of undocumented immigrants. That story just ahead on the news at 4:30.
My question to you, though, is do you think America is safer because President Trump issued these pardons to...
High-stakes confirmation hearings on Capitol Hill again today. Turning heated at times.
And the deadly midair collision over the nation's capital. The latest developments we are learning about the crash ahead on the news at 4:30.
If you want to bite, smile, and chew with confidence, call Dr. Amarick Singh and Periodontal Implant Associates today and get the smile you've always wanted. One visit and you'll see why Dr. Singh is the premier dental implant surgeon in Chicagoland, who has performed over 75,000 procedures. Plus, Dr. Singh provides dramatically lower prices than national chains, and Dr. Singh uses world-class minimally invasive implant technology, which replaces all your teeth in just one visit. Get the smile you've always wanted. Call Dr. Singh today and get started with your free consultation.
Where can you kick off the new year with gig speed and big savings? Only with Xfinity. Get gig internet at home for $25 a month when you add Xfinity Mobile, which connects you to gig speed Wi-Fi on the road. Save more than $650 over AT&T and Verizon. Plus, hurry and get a free 5G phone. So save big and stay connected with gig speed internet and mobile. From home to hotspots, this new year, it's all about savings on gig speeds. Visit Xfinity.com/gig savings today.
Hi, I'm Jeff Wilson. I'm an energy efficiency expert. And if you've been living with a cold, drafty home with high energy bills, it's time you take a hard look at USA Premium Foam Insulation.
USA Insulation.
Tonight, the fatal midair collision between an American Airlines flight and a military helicopter. The recovery mission near Reagan Airport. What happened in those final moments? World News Tonight with David Muir reporting from Washington, D.C.
3 of President Trump's picks to lead some of the nation's top agencies were in the hot seat today, all of them facing tough questions from lawmakers in their confirmation hearings, and all of the hearings contentious and at times fiery. Senate Democrats slamming Kash Patel today, President Trump's controversial pick to lead the FBI, saying he is unfit.
And here's what this nominee himself has said about using his office to prosecute journalists. We will go out and find the conspirators, not just in government, but in the media. Is that a correct quotation, Mr. Patel?
Senator, that's a partial quotation.
But it's correct.
In part.
Patel, a staunch Trump ally, has called the FBI the Federal Bureau of Insanity, saying it is his mission to annihilate the so-called deep state. But under questioning today by Illinois Senator Dick Durbin, Patel seemed to break with Trump over the January 6 defendants granted clemency.
Was President Donald Trump wrong to give blanket clemency to the January 6 defendants?
Thank you, Ranking Member. A couple of things on that. One, the power of the presidential pardon is just that, the president.
Well, I concede he has the authority. I'm asking, was he wrong to do it?
And as we discussed in our private meeting, Senator, I have always rejected any violence against law enforcement, and I have, including in that group, is specifically addressed any violence against law enforcement on January 6th.
Today, Patel promising senators this.
The only thing that will matter if I'm confirmed as a director of the FBI is a de-weaponized, depoliticized system of law enforcement completely devoted to rigorous obedience of the Constitution and a singular standard of justice.
Former Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard also in the hot seat, nominated for Director of National Intelligence.
I want to warn the American people who are watching at home. You may hear lies and smears in this hearing that'll challenge my loyalty to and my love for our country.
Democrats questioning past statements of hers, including her support for Edward Snowden, who leaked information about the U.S. government surveillance of the public.
Can't we do better than somebody who doesn't believe in 702? Can't we believe that somebody who can't answer whether Snowden was a traitor 5 times? I'm questioning her judgment.
No doubt she has some unconventional views, but look at where conventional thinking has got us.
Now, President Trump's pick to lead the Department of Health and Human Services, RFK Jr., was also pressed by lawmakers in the second day of his hearing today, sparring with Democrats about his anti-vaccine rhetoric, while Republicans praised his ideas to reduce food additives.
So the president of Mexico presents a letter to Google contesting the name change to the Gulf of Mexico. Google said it would comply with President Donald Trump's order to rename the body of water to the Gulf of America on its maps. Google said its move was was in line with its, quote, practice of applying name changes when they have been updated in official government sources. Users in Mexico will continue to see the Gulf of Mexico on Google Maps. The rest of the world will see both names.
Heavy downpours in the forecast. Coming up, Larry tells us when the rain will arrive.
On the news after 4:30, NASA researchers say they found what could be the key to how life on Earth began and flourished.
Taking care of my health is important, especially now, but I appreciate being rewarded by County Care for seeing my doctor regularly. I can use my County Care rewards to buy baby essentials and get stocked up with lots and lots of diapers. Plus, County Care gives me extra benefits, like a free car seat and a free portable crib. I'm ready to meet my little one.
County Care rewards you. Learn more at countycare.com.
The Ford family of SUVs, proud sponsor of winter. Now, get a built Wild Bronco Big Bend for $439 a month for 36 months. Only your local Ford dealer.
So you sold to Grandview Homes instead of a real estate agent. Was it a complicated process?
The process with Grandview was virtually effortless. They communicated clearly and effectively, said what they would do, and did exactly what they said. They give you a fair price offer, close quickly, and pay promptly. In my opinion, they're the best.
Call or visit GrandviewHomes.com. We buy every home as is, and you'll get a fair cash offer in just hours. Grandview Homes, the easiest and fastest way to sell your home.
Save big on your next plumbing project at Menards. Upgrade your home's water softener for softer skin and cleaner clothes. Morton's Wi-Fi integration allows you to track your home's water consumption. Get this Wi-Fi water softener for $649.99. Never run out of hot water again with a tankless water heater from Richmond. It will reduce energy costs to help save you money. Menards has a great selection of water heaters in stock, like this Richmond tankless water heater for $999.99 after rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
Today at 6:30, we were talking about our cars coated in salt. Oh, yeah. And then Greg Dutra suggested just take it outside in the next few days.
Because rain is coming. Is that what he meant?
Yeah, it looks like it, huh?
It's going to be like a car wash rain, too, because it's going to come down pretty good, especially tomorrow morning for much of the area. And the rain is starting to roll in this evening, and the showers will be with us this evening into the overnight hours. Even some drizzle will come in later tonight, and fog will develop as well. So kind of a messy evening for us and a messy night tonight. But I tell you, the heaviest of the rain arrives tomorrow morning. Between about 6 a.m. and noontime is the window of time where I think we'll have some real heavy downpours pushing on through. You may even hear some rumbles of thunder during that time frame tomorrow morning, and most locations will pick up around a ½ inch to 1 inch of rainfall. Some areas maybe as much as 1.5 inches of rain during the morning hours tomorrow. With that heavy rain coming down on a ground that's still pretty much frozen, we've had several warm days here this week, but the ground is still pretty frozen. That will allow that rain to run off real quickly and cause some localized flooding concern. It won't seep into the ground because that ground is frozen. So be aware of that tomorrow morning and throughout the day tomorrow. We could have some flooding issues even along the rivers too once that water rushes down into the rivers. It's 47 right now at Midway, 47 at O'Hare, 50 in Waukegan, but we're cooler to the south where the rain has started. Look at the showers lifting up from the southwest here across parts of southern Cook County back towards Naperville, Aurora, stretching down towards Bolingbrook, Kankakee, northwest Indiana. You've got showers sliding on through. This is just the start of it. The heaviest of the rain is still to our south, and that's where our big storm system is still really trying to get organized across the Central Plains. But that system will spread more rain our way this evening. Here's 7:30, showers with us, drizzle and rain through the course of the evening. Overnight tonight, there may be a temporary break for a few hours before the heavier rain pushes in tomorrow morning. 8:30 in the morning tomorrow, look at the rounds of heavy rain coming through. And this is the time frame where we could have some thunder as well with some of these downpours. It's going to be a cold rain, upper 30s and low 40s when it's coming down. And it looks like it'll mainly stay rain as it tapers off during the afternoon hours. Can't completely rule out a few snowflakes, but primarily rain with this event. But temperatures will dip down into the mid-30s by tomorrow afternoon with a gusty north wind kicking in. So here's my raincast. It's showing a swath of heavy rain 1 to potentially even 2 inches of rainfall across southern Cook County back towards Joliet, Morris, and LaSalle. That swath of rain could wander a little bit, maybe a little bit farther to the north or farther to the south, but you get the idea. There's going to be a band here of some real heavy rain tomorrow morning, and those are the zones we'll have to watch for some flooding concern and also ice jam concerns. There's still ice on the rivers. The soil, of course, is frozen. With that heavy rain coming through of a ½ inch to 1.5 inches of rain tonight and tomorrow, there could be some ice jam concerns on our area rivers. Today we hit 50, 26 the low, average high is 32. Record, by the way, is 55, so we're just shy of that. Wet night tonight, wet start to the day tomorrow, then we'll dry out in the afternoon. Cold on Saturday. Rob and Judy, look at Groundhog Day. 53 before more cold weather settles in next week.
All right, we'll take it. Not bad.
Thanks, Larry.
It's time for our segment, ABC Secret Sales, where we round up exclusive limited time deals.
This week, Ryan Field and Danny Beckstrom have the best products to help upgrade your home and kitchen.
It's time for an all-new ABC Secret Sales with limited time savings just for you.
That's right, friends. This week we are talking home and kitchen. It's only while supplies last, so scan that QR code or head to abcsecretsales.com and let's get shopping.
First up, we got to get organized.
Yes, we do.
If you saw under my bathroom sink, it is a mess of cords with blow dryers and curling irons. This product is for me. This is Rapid Storage, and their heavy-duty straps are designed to help hold cords, hoses, tools, all organized tight in a bundle.
And how about this, Danny? Each strap holds up to 50 pounds. Then these super stretch straps pull tight around cables, cords, and more. And you can save 48% on this 12-pack. Our deal starts at just $15.
Love that. Love some organization. All right, up next, say goodbye to wrinkled clothing. You can press and deodorize fabrics quickly with the Power Steam Pro.
And you can easily do so with this lightweight handheld steamer that works on hanging and flat garments. And of course, it's easy to store or pack for travel.
So smart. I desperately need a steamer, and I think this is top of my list. Save more than 50% and get free shipping on this clever steamer today.
Speaking of things that are hard to say, envelop yourself in a cocoon of coziness.
Ooh, okay.
Say that 5 times fast. Cozy House flannel sheet sets provide warmth without overheating, which are ideal for those chilly nights.
Yes, we all need this right now. Double brushed 100% cotton for an irresistibly soft feel, and deep pocket design stays snug and secure to your mattress all night.
Gotta love it. Choose from soothing colors in Queen to California King, and you can save 30% right now, and you get free shipping.
Okay, these are so, I've never seen anything like this. It's really cool. Stand out with uniquely flat candles. Flat Ease transforms a candle into a canvas for artwork.
And speaking of, we've never seen anything that looks like this. That's the best part. They're intricately handcrafted by artisans. Each candle is flat with a steel base or with organic cotton wicks that burn evenly, which is also pretty cool.
We're talking dripless, smokeless, and scent-free. You can create your own 3-pack and save 38%. I still can't get over this.
And you can put them right in cards, too. That's so neat.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I love it. Pick up pet hair, lint, and dirt with ease. This is one of your favorite ones yet.
I desperately need this because I shed. You would think I had a dog. Go Sticky Roller Set is tailored for any dry surface. You can use it on floors, furniture, even walls.
Pet hair or Danny's hair.
Yeah.
The Mighty Roller has an extendable handle over 4 feet long for those hard-to-reach spots. And here's the cool part. You get to simply rinse, dry, and reuse the rollers, so you don't need any refills or replacements, which is another great money saver.
Today, save 55% off on this bundle of 4 rollers plus free shipping. To save on home and kitchen finds, scan that QR code or head now to abcsecretsales.com to get shopping.
Thanks, guys. And for all of these products and more, you can check out our news app and website, abc7chicago.com.
With Valentine's Day right around the corner, some of the best date night restaurants in Chicago next.
Weather on ABC7, sponsored by Four Seasons. For all the right reasons, your trusted heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electric experts.
My name's Chris Kelly. I was working at a construction site when a forklift operator knocked over a steel truss. It crushed my feet and snapped my legs in half. I needed 10 surgeries. The insurance companies, they blamed me for the accident. I had to sit in court and listen to all their lies, but I had Cliff Horowitz on my side. Every time they lied, Cliff fought back. In the end, the jury awarded me $9 million. If you're taking on the insurance companies, hire Cliff Horowitz.
There's DNA. Then there's heavy-duty DNA. HDNA. It's engineered into every aspect of the GMC Sierra HD. With the pulling power to prove it. Tow hitches of the world, prepare for glory. Get 5.9% APR for 84 months on Sierra heavy-duty Denali models. That's over $5,300 in average finance savings.
A weight management resolution can be successful when it is clear, simple, and personal. We support your goal with 4 pillars: nutrition, exercise, psychological and emotional factors, and medication. Weight management is about much more than numbers on a scale. It's about improving your metabolic health and helping you feel better.
Learn more at yourbesthelpchicago.com.
Ready to have some fun? Yeah. Somebody's having a night tonight.
Tonight at 6:30 on ABC 7.
It can't be real. It's real.
Got a call. Your house is on fire.
They literally don't have a home.
We need to give them their magic back.
Are you ready to move that bus?
New Extreme Makeover Home Edition, tonight on ABC.
Yelp releases its list of the top 100 date night restaurants just in time for Valentine's Day, and Chicago has several local eats featured on the list. It's taking the highest spot in our area, Penumbra, with the number 4 spot. It's a romantic Latin-inspired steakhouse and wine bar. Pavette's takes the number 10 spot. It's an upscale steakhouse in a dimly lit wood and brick setting. And coming in number 16, Cecil Mio. They offer classic Italian cooking and cocktails. Avec Chicago snagged the 100 spot. It's a Michelin Guide restaurant serving up Mediterranean dishes. You got a lot of great choices in this fine city.
Some ideas for Valentine's Day. Okay, we continue to update our breaking news coming up. The heartbreaking tragedy in the nation's capital, that deadly midair collision involving a military chopper and an American Airlines plane.
Regulating hemp in the city of Chicago, what some state and local leaders are proposing.
A unique restaurant that features dishes created by aspiring chefs returning to a Southside community. That is all next at 4:30.
Feels good to be home. Ashley's President's Day sale is going on now. Hot buys are up to 50% off, starting at just $199. Plus, our price match guarantee ensures you're getting the best deal. Only at Ashley.
Katie, it's future you. Constipation with belly pain again? Our doctor figured it out. She said it's IBS-C, and Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess is not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Get ahead of it. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn how AbbVie and Ironwood could help you save.
These hands create. All of the materials I work with dry out my hands. If my hands get really dry, I can't do my job. I depend on O'Keeffe's.
It's America's #1 selling hand cream for guaranteed relief.
If it works for these hands, it'll work for yours.
Also available in O'Keeffe's for healthy feet.
Hey, you wanted me to look at your furnace.
Thanks, Dad, but I called ABC Heating.
Oh, good, so it's done.
Consider it done with ABC. Our job is to make sure your job is done now and done right. Trust ABC Plumbing, Sewer, Heating, Cooling, and Electric, and consider it done.
A luxury Mercedes-Benz experience doesn't start when you're driving or even when you first get behind the wheel. It starts here at Mercedes-Benz of Naperville and Westmont, where we treat you like you're our only customer. And with so many Mercedes-Benz to choose, you're sure to find yours. Like a new 2025 Mercedes-Benz GLE 350 SUV for $819 a month. Start your luxury journey now at Mercedes-Benz of Naperville and Westmont.
Feels good to be home. Don't miss big savings during Ashley's President's Day sale. Buy more, save more, up to 30% off. Or get low monthly payments with no interest financing for 72 months. Spend less and get more. Only at Ashley.
Live from Chicago, ABC 7 Eyewitness News at 4:30 starts right now.
We continue to follow the aftermath of that devastating midair collision over Washington, D.C. 67 people died after an Army Black Hawk helicopter collided with an American Airlines passenger jet that had taken off from Wichita, Kansas. The National Transportation Safety Board says it has not yet recovered the flight data recorders.
However, the NTSB chair said that they have substantial data about the collision and crash. Army officials say the 3 soldiers aboard the Black Hawk were very experienced. Among those killed on the plane, several figure skaters and their coaches on their way back from a competition in Kansas. ABC's Christian Cordero is on the scene at Reagan National Airport.
We're standing near Reagan National Airport right now, home to the busiest runway in the country. But it fell silent last night into this morning after the deadliest plane crash in the U.S. in at least 15 years. Today, in frigid water and with planes flying overhead, officials in the nation's capital are searching for answers.
We will look at the aircraft, we will look at the helicopter, we will look at the environment in which they were operating in.
This video shows the helicopter crashing into the passenger jet around 8:45 last night. Another angle in this EarthCam video. Everyone on board American Airlines Flight 5342 and the Army Black Hawk helicopter are presumed dead. The American jet from Wichita, Kansas cleared for landing after a last-minute but routine runway change. The Army helicopter on its usual path for standard night training, but flying at 350 feet instead of 200. Audio from air traffic control reveals the military pilot acknowledged he saw the jet approaching the runway.
This club has an aircraft inside precedent separation.
Among the questions, why didn't the helicopter change course?
The helicopter said, we see it and we accept visual separation, meaning that the Black Hawk crew says we will stay away from that helicopter.
President Trump today seeming to agree.
The helicopter obviously was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
He then speculated, without providing evidence, the crash was a result of his predecessor's diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DEI, initiatives involving air traffic controllers.
Are you saying this crash was somehow caused and the result of diversity hiring? And what evidence have you seen to support these claims?
It just could have been. We have a high standard. These are various very powerful tests that we put to use, and they were terminated by Biden. And Biden went by a standard that's the exact opposite. So we don't know.
The FAA had similar diversity policies under both Presidents Biden and Trump's first term. The NTSB says it plans to release its preliminary report within 30 days. A final report will be released when they have completed the investigation. Christian Cordero, ABC News, Arlington, Virginia.
Christian, thank you. And while criticizing the past administration, the president also blasted former Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, who served as the only openly gay member of the Biden cabinet.
Real winner. That guy's a real winner. Do you know how badly everything's run since he's run this Department of Transportation? He's a disaster. He was a disaster as a mayor. He ran his city into the ground.
Buttigieg responding on social media, calling the comments despicable, saying, as families grieve, Trump should be leading, not lying. He goes on to say, quote, time for the president to show actual leadership and explain what he will do to prevent this from happening again. And an ABC News data analysis finds that since 2008, there have been 145 mid-air collisions in the U.S. investigated by the NTSB. None of those involved commercial flights, and none happened in Washington, D.C. While the NTSB has investigated 35 near mid-air collisions in the U.S. in that same time period, 23 of those incidents did involve commercial flights. We will continue to monitor the latest developments in this D.C. mid-air crash. You can follow our coverage on our air right here, our digital platforms, and wherever you stream.
A stolen Amazon vehicle was involved in a deadly crash on I-57 last night. Police say the car was taken from the fulfillment center in Madison. Look at that. It later crashed into another vehicle northbound at 167th Street at around 9 p.m. One of the people inside the stolen car was killed. 3 others were hospitalized. Investigators say 2 more people inside the stolen vehicle ran from the scene. The driver of the second vehicle also hurt. As police continue to investigate into the early morning hours, a separate crash happened in the southbound lanes near 159th Street. 3 vehicles were involved and at least 1 person was killed in this crash. The cause is still under investigation. A teenager was critically hurt in an early morning crash on the city's north side. Happened at Albany near Devon in the West Ridge neighborhood. Police say the driver of this yellow car blew through a stop sign, hitting a black SUV. Teen was in the back seat of the SUV. 5 other people hurt in this crash are expected to be okay. Driver of that yellow car is being cited.
The Chicago School Board held its first regular board meeting of the new year, and protecting students and undocumented families was a key talking point. ABC 7's Sarah Schulte has more on the suggestions to protect those families.
Protecting Chicago public school students from the fear of ICE was top of mind at the district's first official CPS school board meeting with an elected school board. It came with a plea from CPS CEO Pedro Martinez to undocumented parents.
Please, parents, as a parent myself, please continue to send your children to school so they can receive the education they deserve.
Martinez reminded parents in fear that CPS will protect their kids from federal agents, and he says school is the safest place to be. School board member Debbie Pope suggested a way to get students to school if parents are too afraid to take them.
One of the things that we are trying to do is set up community groups of people who would meet the children at their homes and walk the children to school.
There was concern from one board member about the trauma and fear caused by Secret Service agents arriving unannounced at Hamline Elementary last Friday. CPS protocols were put in place when the principal mistakenly thought the federal agents were ICE. The Secret Service claims the agents left business cards, an allegation Martinez says is false.
There's no evidence of cards being left. We have a video. There's no evidence of it. And so I think a lot of this could have been avoided.
Besides monitoring ICE action, Martinez says the district is keeping a close eye on President Trump's proposed funding freeze. For now, it's been paused.
Fortunately, it appears that the majority of federal funding in this year's CPS budget will not be affected by this change, if the funding pause is in fact upheld by our legal system.
The hybrid school board is divided with 10 elected members and 11 appointed by the mayor. There's been a sharp division among the board, with some elected members and those aligned with Mayor Johnson and the Chicago Teachers Union. The sponsor of the elected school board, State Representative Ann Williams, is confident the dynamic will change.
But I think everybody wants to see Chicago Public Schools succeed and every student have the chance to thrive. So I'm hopeful that we'll be able to come together.
Meantime, Martinez gave an update on CTU contract negotiations. He told the board that both sides are very close, but CTU President Stacey Davis Gates disagrees. She says if that's the case, she invited Martinez to contract negotiations tomorrow morning to get a deal done. Sarah Schulte, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Sarah, thank you. Mariano's hosting a company-wide hiring event today. The supermarket chain holding on-the-spot interviews for both full-time and part-time jobs until 7 p.m. tonight. Mariano's has 44 stores across Illinois.
And now to a push to regulate and tax hemp in the city of Chicago. Today, state and city leaders debated how to regulate the industry and whether sales should only happen in dispensaries. Our consumer investigative reporter Samantha Chapman has the story.
The debate over hemp products got heated here at City Hall. Both sides seem to agree that more regulation is needed, and both sides agree that these products do not belong in the hands of children. But where the products should be sold, that was one of the big sticking points that was debated vigorously. Fury and frustration displayed at City Hall Thursday as alders and business owners lay out their views on hemp and how it should be handled in Chicago. 6th Ward Alderman William Hall leading the effort, pushing for the city of Chicago to regulate and tax hemp on its own.
What we don't want is a black market that we don't know where people are getting this stuff, buying this stuff, and hurting our kids. It's in schools, it's on the blocks.
Alderman Hall opposing Governor J.B. Pritzker's push to require hemp products be exclusively sold in cannabis dispensaries.
Hemp is legal federally. What we want to do is include as many people as possible that are doing it right.
But critics at City Hall say it is vital that all hemp products be sold at dispensaries to protect the public from dangerous, intoxicating hemp products. Alderman Gilbert Villegas says the city of Chicago doesn't have the infrastructure to regulate hemp on its own.
If we're going to be taxing something, that it's a responsible product, it's a process that's been vetted carefully, and that we're not taking a look at profit over people.
Consumers of hemp products and dispensary license holders voicing their stances on the issue.
Banning federal legal hemp products in Chicago will not be effective in limiting access. People will just buy them online. where there are no ID checks or quality standards.
Our message is simple. We must treat all THC the same. If it gets you high, then it should be regulated by the state.
Now, as for next steps, the Finance Committee is expected to review comments from Thursday's hearing, and then we should expect a revision of the hemp ordinance in the coming days. Reporting from City Hall, Samantha Chapman, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Samantha and Jason Knowles have done a lot of work on this topic, and you can see more of our I-Team's Consumer Chronicles. The special showcases some of their biggest, most impactful, and widely discussed stories here in the Chicago area. You can watch Consumer Chronicles right now, wherever you stream us.
A Southside restaurant is breaking out the white tablecloths and polishing off the silver. Now back in business. We will explain coming up.
Plus, what some are calling a NASA breakthrough discovery. Does an asteroid hold the key to the origin of life? Maybe it was an astronaut, Larry.
Maybe one of the astronauts knows.
Yeah, right, somewhere out there.
Hey, I'm tracking some rain on the radar. I got some showers spreading up from the south, and this rain will pretty much overtake most of the area as we go deeper into the evening. And then we get some heavy rain for tomorrow morning's commute. We'll talk about how much rainfall is in the forecast and some colder temperatures coming our way too. That's all coming up.
Stay tuned to learn more about this limited time offer from Renewal by Andersen.
A lot of people need to replace their windows or patio doors, but they put it off because they think it'll be too expensive. Hi, I'm Ann Romer. I'm here with Michael Smith from Renewal by Andersen. You really work with the customers to find affordable solutions.
We do, Ann. We're the replacement window division of Andersen, one of the largest window manufacturers in North America. So we can usually offer our customers larger discounts and better financing than smaller companies or contractors.
Other window companies don't offer your same window and door installation method.
Our installers have installed thousands of windows. Our windows are manufactured to precisely fit your specific window openings. Being custom built also means if you have any beautiful trim that you'd like to keep, we can install your windows without impacting that trim. You won't get this with most vinyl windows.
And you offer a free window and patio door diagnosis?
We do. We'll come to your home and assess your current windows, show you where you might be losing energy, and take measurements. Then we'll give you an exact price quote.
So you're not a high-pressure company?
My background is in home remodeling as a carpenter. I've seen every window problem out there. So now I just want to help homeowners make their homes more beautiful and comfortable with the right window.
And your patio doors are really gorgeous.
They are. And they're engineered to easily open and close for years. And with multiple locking points on our patio doors, they provide even greater security.
That is so great to hear, Michael. Thank you.
Employee pricing is back at Renewal by Andersen. You save what we save and get a bonus discount too. Save 10% on your purchase in addition to saving $300 on every window and $600 on every door. With no money down, no monthly payments, and no interest for 1 year. Call before February 28th and you save what we save. 312-815-6622.
3 active fires in Los Angeles now near full containment. The region has received some much-needed rain, and according to CAL FIRE data, the Palisades, Eaton, and Hughes fire all more than 97% contained. The fires that began on January 7th have killed at least 29 people. Fire Aid benefit concerts to help people impacted by the devastating SoCal fires get underway in just a few hours in Inglewood, California. You can stream the performances on multiple platforms, including Disney Plus and Hulu. 27 acts set to take the stage. Joni Mitchell and the Red Hot Chili Peppers are sure to set the stage with a lot of activity. And producers say you should expect surprise moments during the 5-hour event. The singer Dave Matthews will not be performing at the Fire Aid concert tonight. He pulled out of the fundraiser, saying he has a, quote, critical illness in the family. Matthews was previously scheduled to perform with John Mayer.
NASA researchers say they have found what could be the key to how life on Earth began and flourished, and they found it by sifting through samples from an asteroid. NASA's OSIRIS-REx spacecraft returned 4 ounces of dust and pebbles from the asteroid Bennu. Researchers found amino acids and nitrogen in the form of ammonia. The findings provide the strongest evidence yet that asteroids may have planted the seeds of life right here on Earth.
Pretty fascinating. Yeah. Coming up, a Southside restaurant offering fine dining and unique dishes once again. after the pandemic shut it down.
Another day of mild temperatures, Leary says. Now brace for the rain.
A good afternoon, everybody. I'm Cheryl Burton. Coming up on Eyewitness News today at 5 o'clock, the search for answers into a deadly midair collision. What we are learning about the many lives lost hitting the country's figure skating community. Chicago native and NBA legend Dwayne Wade revealing a cancer diagnosis, his fight against the disease. And it mixes affordable housing, art, and shopping. The new development coming to the East Garfield Park neighborhood. It's all coming your way today on this Thursday at 5 o'clock, so we hope you can join us.
To everyone who's hungry for something special,
Culver's is the place for us. Hi, what can I make fresh for you today? It's nice being greeted by people who are glad to see you. And I appreciate that they use real ingredients, like fresh beef and Wisconsin cheese. The frozen custard is so fresh and creamy, it tastes like it was made just for us. It's our pleasure. Just spending time with family, that's what mealtime at Culver's is all about.
from Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious!
People's Gas. They keep pushing to raise your utility bills to pay for their $13 billion boondoggle. And if they win, it'll be like giving them a blank check. Your heating bills could double. Customers could face yearly price hikes through the year 2040, all while they keep making record profits. The ICC has already stopped them once, so speak up and tell the ICC to shut down these unfair rate hikes again.
Looking to get stronger? This is your year. Join Planet Fitness today for just $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
We're gonna feel this tomorrow.
I'm doing it my way, on my time.
We're just gonna keep showing up. Showing up.
Showing up.
You coming?
Join the club today. Save $28 or more when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends January 31st. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Cameras not allowed here since 9/11. Now, the ABC 7i team takes you behind the scenes of the world's largest water treatment plant of its kind here in Chicago.
Every day they perform like 900 tests.
An exclusive look at how your drinking water is kept safe and protected from the risk of outside threats.
If they're able to get in, they'll be able to shut down pumps.
What's being done to protect you and your water?
So safe from hackers.
Tonight at 10 on Eyewitness News.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Let's get the latest on our weather. We hit 50 degrees today in some areas. Sounds pretty good.
We're talking about maybe a record. Didn't quite get there, though, Larry.
Not quite, almost. The record high today is 55. It got to 50 at O'Hare. First time we hit 50 since the end of December, so warmest day of the year. We got there today. I tell you, Sunday's going to be warmer than today, too. We're going to get into the low 50s on Sunday. But tomorrow, we got rain coming our way. In fact, the rain's starting to spread into the area right now. But tomorrow morning, there'll be periods of real heavy rain during the morning commute. Temperatures will be in the low 40s in the morning, then we'll drop into the 30s during the afternoon. Saturday, we'll keep an eye on the rivers because that rain on Friday morning will be heavy, and we could have some localized flooding concerns, even some ice jam concerns on the rivers on Saturday, high of 37. Then Sunday, 53 for a high temperature under mostly cloudy skies. Right now it's cloudy. It's 47 at O'Hare. We do have some winds out of the south around 10 to 20 miles per hour. And temperatures are warmer to the north compared to the south because the rain has started for areas to the south. It's 50 in Waukegan, but only 38 in Kankakee and 37 right now in Rensselaer. Look at the rain, just about making its way down to the loop, but we've got showers across southern Cook County, southern parts of DuPage County, back towards Sandwich and down towards Morris, Kankakee, northwest Indiana, all seeing these waves of showers push on through. And it's going to be a wet evening for us as more of this rain spreads northward. It won't be terribly heavy this evening. A lot of it will be drizzle, but there'll be some light showers at times this evening as this big entire storm system, which is still kind of organizing across the Central Plains, lifts in our direction. So through the course of the evening, you see those scattered showers continuing. After about midnight or so, there could be a couple hours of a break in the rain. But then the rain picks up during the morning tomorrow. There's 8:30. Look at these bands of heavy showers coming on through. Could even hear some thunder with some of these downpours. Temperatures will be in the upper 30s and low 40s for the morning, so it'll be a very cold rain. Eventually the rain tapers off from west to east as we head into the afternoon, and there you can see the temperatures around 5 o'clock tomorrow, only in the mid-30s. Wind chills tomorrow will be in the 20s, so noticeably colder than it was today. But the concern is for some heavy rain overnight tonight and tomorrow morning. There could be a band of some 1 to 2 inch rainfall totals across parts of the area. And if that happens, with the ground being frozen and ice still on the rivers, we could have ice jams and localized flooding concerns tomorrow and even into Saturday. This is video behind me of that ice jam that was down in Wilmington last year. That caused some pretty significant flooding along the Kankakee River down that way. So we'll keep an eye on the rivers, and we'll watch, of course, the frozen soil, because as that rain falls, it won't absorb into the ground. It'll just run off and down towards the low-lying areas. And with heavy rain, a ½ inch to 1.5 inches possible, I am a little concerned about flooding potential for us first thing tomorrow morning. Temperatures overnight tonight will drop into the upper 30s and low 40s, and then tomorrow we'll see temperatures, well, only in the upper 30s and low 40s all day, with most of the rain in the morning, tapering off later in the afternoon. Today we did get to 50 officially at O'Hare, well above average. Average high is 32, record is 55, set back in 1988. So tonight we'll drop off into the upper 30s and low 40s. Showers, drizzle, fog overnight tonight. Some thunder potential as we head towards the morning hours, and then heavy rain in the morning, tapering off in the afternoon. Colder on Saturday, but warm back up on Sunday. Next week is looking colder than this week, with highs in the 30s and some wintry mix opportunities on Tuesday and Wednesday. But it was nice to get to 50 before this rain settles in, and I think Sunday's going to be a really mild day.
Love it. Yeah. Thanks, Larry.
Well, fine dining is back at Kennedy King College. The Sakia restaurant reopened today at Kennedy King College on 63rd Street.
Restaurants run by students. It serves as an educational tool for those studying the culinary arts. ABC 7's Jasmine Midair now with the story.
I've worked in healthcare for about 10 years, so I'm finally getting a chance to live my dream through culinary.
Kennedy King College senior and culinary arts student Christopher Randall says Sakia Restaurant is not only a dream come true, but a stepping stone towards bigger goals.
I would like to be a professional chef as well, private chef as well.
He says he spent years perfecting his recipes, from vegan mac and cheese to creme brulee, and now he gets to show off his skills at the restaurant.
When Sakia closed in response to the COVID pandemic, our students still needed a space to learn.
Sakia, which originally opened in 2008, is an on-site learning lab for students. It was closed the past 5 years as a result of the pandemic. It's the only fine dining restaurant in Inglewood.
The well-being of the Kennedy King campus is the well-being of the Inglewood community.
And this fine dining experience comes as the school says total student enrollment has gone up 58% since 2022.
What you might call a spiritual refresh.
A refresh and a reminder for those like soon-to-be college graduate Adrian Gordon that the sky's the limit.
Having a full-time job and holding a full-time position here in school didn't seem possible, but here I am 4 years later.
Hi, this is Sakia. I'm Chris. How can I help you?
Whether students are hosting or cooking, this living classroom is a place of academic excellence and the training of future chefs.
Here's to the new beginnings and delicious creations that I have to come.
Jasmine Miner, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Can't wait to try it. If you are bummed that you didn't score tickets to the Super Bowl this year, think about this. The real estate company Zillow ran some numbers, and they found the cheapest seat will cost more than a typical monthly mortgage payment. Ooh. The $4,800 ticket would cover nearly 3 months of average mortgage payments in Chicago, and Zillow notes for that price, you get to sit in the nosebleed section. So we'll be watching from home.
I want to pay my
happily.
mortgage. Yeah.
Nearly 23,000 AMX Global portable folding stadium seats are now under recall. Officials say these seats have bleacher security hooks that can crack or break. The seats were sold under BJ Wholesale or Black Sierra brands. There have been 5 reports of the hooks breaking, leading to 2 falls and 1 injury. If you have one of these, you should destroy it by cutting through the fabric and then send a photo to support at StadiumSeatRecall.com for a full refund.
When we come back, the new faces you may soon see at the Shed Aquarium.
If the high cost of travel has you thinking staycation instead of vacation. Invest in the comfort of your home.
We're making it easy to invest in your home.
At Darvin.
Save big money on your kitchen upgrade at Menards. Update your home with new cabinets from Cardell. They're ready to install and come in a variety of styles. Get these Rockney kitchen cabinets on sale for $5729.99. Keep your new kitchen clean with Lippmann Cleaning Supplies. We carry a huge selection of brooms, mops, cleaning brushes, cloths, and more to make your home shine. Get a 20-pack of premium microfiber cloths for only $10.99.
Save big money at Menards.
Smooth on the map, never smooth on the map, never slip. What you gonna do when you at, when you wig, when you really about it, don't you, don't you? Really on the move on the map, never slip, keep your hands to your left, don't you, don't you? Wig, when you really about it, don't you, don't you? Really on the move on the map, never slip, keep your hands to your left.
It's so nice, living my life with no limitations.
My legs feel like new, and I'm sleeping through the night.
I really feel like I have a new life with new legs.
You don't have to live with the aching, swelling, and pain of varicose veins. At United Vein Centers, our minimally invasive treatments result in little to no downtime, and your treatment is covered by Medicare and most health insurance. Call 1-800-NEW-LEGS to schedule your free vein screening at one of our locations, or visit us at UnitedVeinCenters.com.
Here, matching bedazzled shirts are worn proudly, and phones are forgotten. Young ones are granted new power, and dad jokes are actually funny. Fireworks paint the sky every night, and hand-holding makes a comeback every day. Here, anything is possible if you can imagine it, and that's what makes Orlando unbelievably real.
The Shed's newest penguins now have names. Pico and Douglas, both male rockhopper penguins. They hatched in June. Since then, they've achieved many important milestones, including taking their first swim and meeting other penguins in the colony. A visitor should have no problem spotting them in their habitat because Pico and Douglas are still missing their yellow crest feathers above their eyes. Those should grow in by this June. They are adorable with their little mohawks.
Cute, and we like those names.
I do, yeah.
Pico and Douglas.
He looks like a Douglas and a Pico.
So go check them out. That's our time here at 4 o'clock. Eyewitness News at 5 is coming up next. Here's Ravi and Cheryl.
Yeah, those are great names indeed. Thanks a lot, guys. Up next here on Eyewitness News at 5 o'clock. We have a breaking update for you, the investigation into how this deadly midair collision actually happened in our nation's capital. The ABC 7i team with what has been just revealed.
We are learning more tonight about some of the many U.S. figure skaters lost in this tragedy and the members of the American Airlines crew.
NBA legend Dwayne Wade reveals his cancer battle, what we know about the treatment that he's undergone. It's all coming up next here at 5 o'clock.
When you're on the tollway, peace of mind is just a call away. With our Star 999 service, help is always at your fingertips. Our dedicated team is here to assist. Star 999, we're always there when you need us.
Okay, we're just here for dishwashers.
Just a dishwasher.
When our clean, shiny truck arrives at your house, it's a sign of a new beginning. 1-800-GOT-JUNK is full-service junk removal. When your home feels clean and happy, the people inside feel clean and happy too. We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point.
Imagine your home totally organized.
At Closets by Design, we specialize in providing affordable, custom-built storage solutions with built-ins and beyond. From walk-in closets to new laundry rooms and pantries, our experienced designers work within your budget to design a solution fit perfectly to your needs. Get 40% off plus an additional 15% with 18-month financing. Visit closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN to get started. Let's get organized together.
When our clean, shiny truck arrives at your house, it's a sign of a new beginning. 1-800-GOT-JUNK is full-service junk removal. When your home feels clean and happy, the people inside feel clean and happy too. We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point.
Live from Chicago, ABC 7 Eyewitness News at 5 starts right now.
We start with a breaking update tonight on the search for answers into the deadly midair collision in our nation's capital.
Tonight, we're learning more about the victims, including the crew of the American Airlines jet and the many U.S. figure skating members lost in this disaster.
The local figure skating community reacting to this tragic loss of so many skaters and friends, coaches, and their families. New developments are coming in by the hour.
So here now is the latest. There were no survivors in the crash. All 64 people on the plane and 3 soldiers on the helicopter died, meaning 67 people in total were killed. And late this afternoon, dive teams suspended their operations, saying they cannot do any more recovery efforts without moving the body of the plane. And at this point, the flight recorders have not been recovered, but federal investigators are confident they will find them to help them in this investigation as they search for the cause of this crash.
And so we have team coverage for you tonight on this air disaster as well as that local reaction to it.
But first, here is Mark Rivera and the ABC 7i team monitoring late developments from the newsroom. Mark.
Yeah, Cheryl and Ravi, the National Transportation Safety Board with its first full day of investigations underway into that crash that claimed the lives of those 67 people. The 3 Army soldiers aboard the Black Hawk involved in last night's collision were very experienced, according to an Army official who briefed reporters today. The instructor pilot who was evaluating the command pilot was a man. The pilot who was commanding the flight and being evaluated was a woman. The crew chief was a man. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth explaining their mission.
A young captain, staff sergeant, and CW2, chief warrant officer, on a routine annual retraining of night flights on a standard corridor for a continuity of government mission.
On board that destroyed plane, athletes, coaches, and family members returning from the U.S. Figure Skating Championships in Wichita, Kansas. Several known to skaters in the Chicago area.
We have not reviewed any specific reports about the controllers at this time, at least from the leadership team. Our investigators are continuing to pull all that information, their personnel records, their files, where they were at, whether they were fatigued. All that information will be part of that investigative process.
Right now, it is not known how many air traffic controllers were in the Reagan Tower at the time of the crash, but according to an FAA report obtained by the Associated Press, staffing in the tower was, quote, not normal at the time of the collision. This comes on the heels of ABC 7i team reports of serious concerns from federal lawmakers about understaffing in air traffic control towers. For instance, in November, staffing at Air Route Traffic Control Center in Aurora, where planes across the Midwest are sequenced and separated, was at 82%, according to the union representing controllers.
We would love to be 100% staffed, that's for sure.
According to the National Air Traffic Controllers Association union, air traffic control staffing nationwide decreased by 9% from 2011 to 2023, as flights have increased in that same time period. And ABC News sources say when aircraft volume goes down at Reagan Airport, a supervisor can make the decision to combine 2 controller positions into 1 position. Last night, that happened 40 minutes earlier than normal. The combined position handled local arrivals into Reagan and helicopter traffic, which sources say is not normal. Ravi?
Okay, Mark, thank you. President Donald Trump is speaking about this tragedy today, placing blame on diversity hiring. He doubled down in the Oval Office when asked if he thought race or gender may have played a role.
It may have, I don't know. Incompetence might have played a role. We'll let you know that. But we want the most competent people. We don't care what race they are. We want the most competent people, especially in those positions.
However, the president also said it was too soon to draw conclusions about exactly what happened, and he urged the country to pray for the victims.
The skating world is a tight-knit community, and some skaters here in the Chicago area knew those who were on board that flight that crashed last night in Washington, D.C. Today, they were grieving, even as they trained at twin rinks in Buffalo Grove. A number of these skaters competed in the national championship last weekend in Wichita. They returned home, while those on the flight that crashed stayed in Kansas a few days for a development camp.
I was literally talking to a few of them before takeoff, and it was just a huge shock to me. I think I'm still in denial.
I can't even get the words out to you because there's just so many thoughts going through my mind.
Coach Jeremy Allen grew up hearing about the 1961 plane crash that killed members of the U.S. national team. He said he never imagined anything like that could happen again.
There were 4 crew members on board the flight, and those include Samuel Lilly, who was the first officer, and his family says that he was inspired by his father, who was an Army veteran and flew Black Hawk helicopters during his time in the service. Lilly had just gotten engaged. Ian Epstein was a flight attendant on board. His family says that he loved his job because he enjoyed traveling and meeting new people. And so we are hearing from passengers who flew out of Reagan National after the airport reopened today.
Mayor Kawash is live for us tonight at O'Hare Airport with their accounts of seeing the crash investigation scene as they were flying out. Mayor?
Well, we talked to some of those people who just landed here in Chicago from D.C. this afternoon, and honestly, it gives you goosebumps to hear what they saw while they were taking off from Reagan National Airport, their flights passing right over the site of that wreckage. As one woman told me, nothing prepares you to see that kind of devastation. After operations were shut down overnight at Reagan National Airport in D.C., some of the first flights from there landed at O'Hare this afternoon. The mid-air crash on Wednesday night forced cancellations for many passengers, and today, those people are just happy to arrive safely in Chicago.
It was very crazy. It definitely was. It's even crazier knowing that usually I fly American and usually out of D.C., so it was a little too close for comfort.
Many travelers also caught a glimpse of the wreckage as they came in and out of Reagan National Airport.
We had to pass what was happening, and that was something no one ever wants to see. When we took off, we were really able to see what the outline was for the emergency, where it was. And you could see the skid in the ice from the water.
As business returns to normal at airports, the investigation into the crash continues. Illinois Senator Tammy Duckworth once served as a U.S. Army helicopter pilot, and she says soldiers are flying in the dark there, relying on their vision and air traffic control.
So they would be looking up to try to find this aircraft, pick it out of the sky as it's coming in for a landing. But, you know, their flight path should have been hugging the east bank of the Potomac River, so they should not have been within the flight path of that landing aircraft.
Senator Duckworth says she will continue to work with the Aviation Committee to find out all the details and answers from this accident. Meanwhile, there are several more scheduled flights to come here into Chicago from D.C. So far, 0 issues with that. Live from O'Hare Airport, Mayor Kawash, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
And ABC's David Muir will report live from the scene of the collision site along the Potomac River for ABC's World News Tonight. That is right after our newscast here at 5:30.
Back here at home, Chicago police say 2 people of interest are in custody tonight in connection with the murder of a 63-year-old man in Norwood Park. George Levin was found tied up in his basement near Talcott and Olympia on Sunday. The coroner says that he died from multiple injuries, and so far there is no word on a motive.
The first full day of jury deliberations are underway in the trial of former Illinois House Speaker Michael Madigan. The jurors sending a note to the judge today asking for office supplies. Madigan and co-defendant Mike McLean facing bribery and racketeering charges. Both deny any wrongdoing. Deliberations expected to resume tomorrow morning, and they could take several days.
A call tonight to free those wrongfully convicted. A group rallies outside of a forum involving Cook County State's Attorney Eileen O'Neill Burke. O'Neill Burke responding to that rally today, and it is a story that's new at 5. Leah Hope has more tonight on this demand for the county's new state's attorney.
They are the voices for those serving time. Loved ones and advocates say some inmates are still in prison on wrongful convictions.
Eileen Burke, we know she has the power right now to step in on any case that's pending on post-convictions to unoppose their motions to be vacated.
They got innocent people locked up in jail, dying, missing their family, but something they didn't do.
Under the previous Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx, hundreds were exonerated.
We will not allow all of the progress that we have made to be undone.
Today, the call is for the new Cook County State's Attorney to continue that work.
Our members are tired. It's been a long fight, but they are not exhausted. They and we will keep fighting. We will keep at it.
They rallied outside the Union League Club, where the new state's attorney made a public appearance. Cook County State's Attorney Eileen O'Neill Burke addressed members of the Chicago Bar Association and the Union League Club today at the Lincoln Forum.
I think all of us want the same thing. We want a safe, thriving city. All boats rise in a rising tide. If we can get the crime under control, it's going to benefit everyone.
Burke told the group there will be more prosecutions from her office, and her prosecutors will seek detentions and jail time for those using a conversion switch, which converts guns to machine guns.
Our position is if you're carrying a weapon of war that can fire off 30 rounds in 1 second, you are a danger to the public.
Regarding wrongful convictions, she said the Conviction Integrity Unit continues its work, and they continue to evaluate cases.
We're not going to be successful unless we have the trust of the community, and that includes making sure those convictions are valid.
State's Attorney Burke says they are aggressively recruiting attorneys for her office to do all the work she has promised. In the Loop, Leah Hope, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
All right, Leah, thank you very much. Let's take a look at the weather right now. Live shot outside, rain moving in, and we could actually see some storms.
Meteorologist Larry Mowry is tracking that and where our temperatures will go from today. It was really nice, very mild.
Yeah.
Needed a little more sunshine.
Yeah, it'd have been nice to get more sunshine.
Yeah.
And sunshine would have warmed these temperatures even more than where we got to, which makes this, though, the warmest day of the year so far, because we hit 50 at O'Hare, 49 at Midway. Record high is 55, so close to the record, with an average high of just 32. It was well above average. It's cooler to the south. That's where the rain has started. A little warmer still to the north, 47 in Waukegan, but only 38 in Kankakee. You can see the rain spreading up from the south, just about moving into the downtown area right now, but back towards Midlothian, back towards Burr Ridge, Naperville, Aurora, all the way down towards Joliet. We've seen rain pushing through. Same in northwest Indiana. This is all part of this bigger storm system, which is heavier down to the south here for us this evening. We'll see light rain and showery type of weather, showers at times this evening. But I tell you, tomorrow morning we'll get some heavier downpours to push in. Look at our futurecast, 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. Some pockets of real heavy rain, potentially some thunder with this activity. And these will be some pretty good downpours for the morning commute, which could cause some ponding on the roadways and even some localized flooding concerns. We'll talk more about how much rain we get from all this coming up in just a few moments.
All right, Larry, thank you. Dwayne Wade's cancer fight, what the Chicago native and NBA legend is revealing ahead tonight in sports.
Investment fund settlement, why thousands of people in Illinois might be eligible for a payout.
And a Hinsdale car wash at the center of a deadly crash, filing for bankruptcy.
Tonight, the fatal mid-air collision between an American Airlines flight and a military helicopter. The recovery mission near Reagan Airport. What happened in those final moments? World News Tonight with David Muir reporting from Washington, D.C.
Cameras not allowed here since 9/11. Now, the ABC 7i team takes you behind the scenes of the world's largest water treatment plant of its kind here in Chicago. What's being done to protect you and your water? Tonight at 10.
You're way shorter than I thought you'd be. There's a shirtless selfie of me by the dumbbells. Here I am. I do air drumming. I'm a competitive air drummer.
Oh, wow.
By the way, I forgot my wallet at home, so sugar mama.
Will you excuse me?
The new Hyundai Tucson with advanced tech and safety features. There's joy in every journey. Lease the Tucson for $249 a month or get $1,250 bonus cash. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today.
Save big money on your next painting project at Menards.
Dutch Boys Forever Interior Paint and Primer offers powerhouse protection with its stain-blocking, odor-reducing technologies. A gallon starts at $31.96 after rebate. Give your space the Platinum treatment with Platinum Plus Interior Paint. Its Stain Shield technology protects your spaces with a performance you'd expect from luxury paint at a price you wouldn't. Get a gallon starting at $38.98 after rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
Taking care of my health is important, and County Care makes it easy.
No-cost prescriptions. Ditching glasses for LASIK? Bring it on with County Care.
Free rides to and from the doctor? Now we're talking. Urgent care included and nearby? Let's go with County Care. County Care rewards you with benefits that matter.
County Care rewards you. Learn more at countycare.com or call 312-864-8200.
New at 5 tonight, a Hinsdale car wash filing for bankruptcy following a deadly crash. Police say an employee of Fuller's Car Wash drove a car into a nearby building, hitting and killing Sean Richards back in 2023. The teenager driving received traffic citations but was not criminally charged. Several lawsuits have been filed in the case. Now the company that operates the car wash has filed for bankruptcy. The hearing is now set for next week.
Well, thousands of people in Illinois are eligible for a share of a settlement with Vanguard. The Illinois Secretary of State joining the $106 million multi-state settlement with the big mutual fund giant, the investment company. Vanguard is accused of failing to disclose tax implications of its retirement funds. Alexi Giannoulis says that approximately 9,000 Illinois investors paid higher than expected capital gains taxes on some retirement funds.
Well, there is a new affordable housing complex in East Garfield Park. Mayor Brandon Johnson among those celebrating the ribbon cutting of Fifth City Commons. It is located at 5th Avenue near Kedzie and includes more than 40 apartments and commercial space. The building is designed to be green and energy efficient, so people who live there will have lower utility bills.
Rain and storms are moving into our area very soon. Larry has the timing of all that and a change in temperature.
Will he see his shadow this weekend? The celebration kicking off in Woodstock right now for the annual Groundhog Days.
And lifeguards needed. Yeah, the hiring now underway in the city of Evanston. Hey, Ryan.
Hey, Robbie and Cheryl. Chicago's own D. Wade revealing a health scare publicly for the first time. I'll fill you in. And Bears head coach Ben Johnson now has his coordinators in place. We'll hear from them just ahead.
Jordan's sore nose let out a fiery sneeze, so Dad grabbed Puffs Plus lotion to soothe her with ease. Puffs Plus lotion is gentle on sensitive skin and locks in moisture to provide soothing relief. A nose in need deserves Puffs indeed. America's #1 lotion tissue.
When life spells heartburn, how do you spell relief? R-O-L-A-I-D-S. Rolaids dual active formula begins to neutralize acid on contact. Rolaids spells relief.
Hey, you wanted me to look at your furnace.
Thanks, Dad, but I called ABC Heating.
Oh, good, so it's done.
Consider it done with ABC. Our job is to make sure your job is done now and done right. Trust ABC Plumbing, Sewer, Heating, Cooling, and Electric, and consider it done.
People's Gas. They keep pushing to raise your utility bills to pay for their $13 billion boondoggle. And if they win, it'll be like giving them a blank check. Your heating bills could double. Customers could face yearly price hikes through the year 2040, all while they keep making record profits. The ICC has already stopped them once, so speak up and tell the ICC to shut down these unfair rate hikes again.
Experience the spectacular San Francisco Chinese New Year Parade live. Enter for a chance to win a trip for two, including round-trip airfare and hotel in San Francisco. Go to abc7chicago.com and watch the Chinese New Year Parade February 15th, wherever you stream ABC7.
Have you always wanted to spin the wheel?
This could be your chance. Wheel of Fortune auditions are at the Chicago Auto Show, Saturday, February 8th and Sunday, February 9th.
First topic, where do you stand? Sofa or couch?
Oh, most definitely sofa. There is no debate.
Couch signifies comfort, and everyone deserves to be comfortable. Get your $250 coupon at smith.com.
These are the moments. If their commercials had a jingle, it would be...
It's free to hire. Talk to us. We'll get you the most money fast. Family that works together wins together.
Oh.
Now you know why clients hire them and why they don't have a jingle. We know what matters most.
It is a way to keep swimmers safe and spend your workday outside along the lakefront. The Evanston Fire Department looking for lifeguards to work the city's 5 public beaches this summer. The application process is now open. The pay for lifeguards in Evanston begins at $18.50 an hour. Evanston beaches will open for public swimming from May 24th right through Labor Day.
I like the video of the warmer temperatures there right now. Groundhog Day is kicking off in Woodstock, the northwest suburbs, where the movie Groundhog Day was filmed. The 4-day event includes tours and activities for the whole family. And tonight at 6 o'clock, there is a gathering to welcome Woodstock Willie. And of course, you know, on Sunday, Woodstock Willie will check for his shadow to predict if we will have 6 more weeks of winter. And it's supposed to be really nice weather on Sunday. But look at our city. It's still twilight.
Yeah.
I'm getting excited because it's 5:18.
Yeah, well, look at that.
Light.
Some of us actually, though, Cheryl, might be seeing some showers right now. Larry Murray standing by. Larry, what do you think the groundhog's going to see?
Well, it looks like it'll be mostly cloudy Sunday morning, so he will not see a shadow, at least if the forecast holds with the cloud cover, which means no 6 more weeks of winter. If he sees his shadow, that means 6 more weeks of winter. So he may not see it on Sunday. I got to tell you, though, we got some really mild weather coming in on Sunday. And today was pretty mild, too. We got to 50 officially at O'Hare. Warmest day of the year so far. But rain's starting to spread into the area this evening. We'll have off and on showers this evening into the overnight hours. Some drizzle and some fog will develop as well. But the heaviest of the rain comes in tomorrow morning. Between about 6 o'clock in the morning and noontime, there'll be a wave of heavy rain sliding through, which could produce a ½ inch to even an 1.5 inches of rain for some areas. Most locations between a ½ inch and an inch. But with that heavy rain coming through, the potential is there for some localized flooding because the rain will just run off the frozen ground and kind of congregate in areas that are low-lying. So there could be some flooding concern for tomorrow morning and also concerns for ice jams as there's still a lot of ice on the area rivers. Take a look at the temperatures. We've dropped into the upper 30s to the south, Rensselaer, Kankakee, and Streeter, but it's still 47 in Kankakee. This is the rain that's lifting northward that's cooling temperatures down, especially across areas south of I-80. But you can see a slow progress of the rain northward as we've gone over the past hour. And this rain will continue to lift northward as we go deeper into the evening. This is really just the first wave of shower activity to pass overhead. There's a lot more rain down to our south and another disturbance back here over Kansas that will all push into the area later tonight into tomorrow morning. So kind of wet this evening, light rain, drizzle, some showers. Tomorrow morning is when the heavier rain moves in. There's 8:30 in the morning. Look at these bands of some real heavy downpours. Could hear some rumbles of thunder with some of this activity tomorrow morning. The rain will end from west to east as we go into the midday hours, and by the afternoon we'll see temperatures falling into the mid-30s with gusty north and northeast winds, making it feel like it's in the 20s during the afternoon tomorrow. So how much rain do we get? Well, again, a really good soaking for most of us, ½ inch to an inch with a band of potentially 1 to 2 inches of rainfall, which would certainly cause problems for localized flooding. And I mentioned the ice jam threat. Here's some video from last year's ice jam that was down near Wilmington. We still have ice on the rivers with the frozen soil and that heavy rain. The rivers will rise tomorrow and even into Saturday, and wherever that ice breaks up and then kind of re-jams itself, we could have some flooding concerns along some of our area rivers. Tonight, though, we drop into the upper 30s, and then tomorrow we'll see temperatures kind of hold steady in the upper 30s and low 40s, with most of the rain coming in the morning hours, drying out during the afternoon. 50 was our high today, 26 the low, 32 and 18 the average high and average low for today. So tonight, a wet night, could hear some thunder towards daybreak, temperatures in the upper 30s. Tomorrow we're at 41 with the morning rain tapering off in the afternoon. We'll watch the rivers on Saturday. It stays kind of cold, but for Groundhog Day, we're up to 53. Heading to Woodstock, looks like a real nice day for us on Sunday. Then it does turn colder next week with some wintry mix opportunities on Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. But good for Groundhog Day, 53.
We hope you are all right. Everything you said, we hope you're right about that, Larry.
No shadow.
We're going to hold you to it.
Right, yeah.
All right, so we got the Super Bowl next Sunday. So we're hoping maybe next year with all these changes and new coaches, Ryan, maybe the Bears will be in the Super Bowl?
I like the optimism. They are definitely getting better. Let's put it that way. You know, the Bears introduced their new coordinators today, and they couldn't be more different. Declan Doyle, just 28. He's the youngest offensive coordinator in the NFL. But remember, Ben Johnson is going to call the plays for the Bears. And on the defensive side, Dennis Allen, not only does he bring head coaching experience, but he's also been a D coordinator for over a decade.
When Ben asked me if I would be interested, there was a couple of places that I felt like had the pieces in place to potentially be a really good football team. And Chicago was obviously one of them. And so I was excited when it came about that this was the job that he really wanted, and this was the job that he was able to get. And I was excited when he wanted me to come along with him.
When I sat down with Ben, it was clearly evident from the get-go that this was someone that I wanted to work with and somebody I wanted to work for and be a part of his staff. Really enjoy hearing Ben's vision. He was clear and concise from the get-go and very transparent about everything that was occurring. So his passion for special teams really was exciting to me. And not only for special teams, but connecting all three phases together, playing complementary football was just really exciting to me. So I'm excited to be back and help these guys reach the next level.
Hall of Famer and Chicagoan Dwayne Wade revealed on his podcast that he had surgery on his right kidney in 2023. It was to remove a tumor that was later deemed cancerous. The three-time NBA champ said a full-body scan discovered it, and after multiple doctors recommended surgery, Wade proceeded, and he is thankful that he did. We're glad he's okay. Speaking of basketball, tonight the 18th ranked Illini are on the road against Nebraska. They'll be without their starting center again because of illness. Brad Underwood tells us what it's going to take to beat the Cornhuskers.
Patience. You know, they're a team that, again, they're going to take away post-ups, and there's not a lot of those. Fortunately for us, we don't do a lot, so it kind of becomes a battle of wills. But, you know, you got to move them. They're very, very good with their double teams. They're very good and have great size. You know, so they're going to give you some opportunities that you've got to take advantage of, and we'll see if we can exploit that.
Tip off at 7:30. And finally, Pebble Beach Pro-Am. Rory McIlroy on the par 3 15. If I'm showing it to you, you know it's going in the hole. The second ace of his pro career. Rory shot a 6-under for the opening round, one shot off the lead. Ravi, Cheryl, either of you have a hole-in-one in your lifetime?
See, you're good. I had about 5 inches from the hole-in-one.
It's the most amazing feeling. It's a total mic drop.
Yeah,
don't need to play this game anymore.
That was the miniature golf course, right?
Yeah, it was something else. I can tell you all about it, but we have to go right now.
Ravi's really good, actually.
Oh,
yeah,
anyway.
He can play.
The day's top headlines coming up right after a short break.
Bell Tire, the official tire provider for ABC7 Chicago Eyewitness News. Bell Tire, keeping Chicagoland rolling. Built Ford Tough Trucks, proud sponsor of winter. Choose FlexBuy on F-150 and get 3.9% APR financing for 66 months, plus $2,000 FlexBuy cash and $500 retail bonus cash. See your local Ford dealer.
Tonight, the fatal mid-air collision between an American Airlines flight and a military helicopter. The recovery mission near Reagan Airport. What happened in those final moments? World News Tonight with David Muir reporting from Washington, D.C.
Looking to get stronger? Join Planet Fitness today.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
We're gonna feel this tomorrow.
You coming?
Save $28 or more. Just $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends January 31st.
Kick off the new year in style with Feldco. Let the experts at Feldco renew your home with 25% off Feldco windows, siding, doors, and roofing. Plus, no interest for 1 year. Choosing Feldco for your home renewal project means you'll be getting high-quality products made for the Midwestern weather, crafted right here in the U.S. Hurry, 25% off ends soon. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
For the professional, it's not enough to possess knowledge. We seek to refine it, to wield its power, to redefine its boundaries. Knowledge is put to the test in every GMC Sierra. Get 0% APR on 2024 Sierra 1500 models. That's over $5,600 in average finance savings. We are professional grade GMC.
Looking to get stronger? Join Planet Fitness today.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
We're gonna feel this tomorrow.
You coming?
Save $28 or more. Just $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends January 31st.
Here are some of the headlines we are following on this Thursday. The NTSB is still looking for the flight recorders from the tragic midair collision near Reagan National Airport in Washington. A total of 67 people were on board the Army helicopter and American Airlines jet that crashed. It is not believed there are any survivors. And sources telling ABC7 2 people now in custody in connection with the murder of a man in his 60s on the city's northwest side. We'll have more on both of these stories coming up tonight on Eyewitness News at 6 o'clock.
All right, that's our report for tonight. Thanks so much for joining us.
World News Tonight with David Muir. He is reporting live from Washington, D.C. on this midair collision. Good night.
Feels good to be home. Ashley's President's Day sale is going on now. Hot buys are up to 50% off, starting at just $199. Plus, our price match guarantee ensures you're getting the best deal. Only at Ashley.
People's Gas. They keep pushing to raise your utility bills to pay for their $13 billion boondoggle. And if they win, it'll be like giving them a blank check. Your heating bills could double. Customers could face yearly price hikes through the year 2040, all while they keep making record profits. The ICC has already stopped them once, so speak up and tell the ICC to shut down these unfair rate hikes again.
Feels good to be home. Don't miss big savings during Ashley's President's Day sale. Buy more, save more, up to 30% off. Or get low monthly payments with no interest financing for 72 months. Spend less and get more. Only at Ashley.
Tonight, a special edition of World News Tonight, the deadliest air disaster in the U.S. in more than 2 decades. The midair collision right here over the Potomac River. An American Airlines passenger jet and a U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter. Tonight, authorities now saying no one survived.
Tonight, surveillance video showing the moment of impact, the sudden fireball in the sky over Washington, D.C. The alarming call from air traffic control. An American Airlines flight out of Wichita, Kansas on approach to Reagan National Airport. The U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter on a night training mission, colliding with the jet. Both plunging into the frigid waters of the Potomac River. 64 passengers and crew on the plane, 3 soldiers on the Black Hawk helicopter. Tonight, the witness who told me what he saw, driving home from work, what he witnessed right through his window. And tonight we're learning about the 67 lives lost, the American Airlines pilots, the young figure skaters, their coaches and family members returning from the national championships and camp in Wichita, the young stars, many from the Boston area, the husband and wife coaching team, former Olympic skater Nancy Kerrigan tonight in tears talking about those young skaters. Among them, a 16-year-old figure skater and what he posted just before that flight took off from Wichita. President Trump in the White House briefing room today calling for a moment of silence. Moments later, the president implying DEI policies, diversity, equity, and inclusion might have contributed to the crash. Also tonight, the fast-moving investigation now. You will hear the air traffic controller asking the Black Hawk helicopter, do you see the regional jet? Tonight, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth saying a mistake was made. And what early data reveals about altitude. The Black Hawk flying at 350 feet, authorities on where it should have been. And tonight, new questions about whether that one air traffic controller was doing the work of 2 controllers. And tonight here, my interview with the D.C. fire chief. What his divers found when they reached the wreckage 10 minutes after the crash. The fuselage in multiple parts. And tonight, images of the Black Hawk helicopter submerged in the Potomac. And what we're now learning about those service members. Were they wearing night vision goggles during routine training? Our team here on the ground, a special edition of World News Tonight, begins now.
From ABC News, this is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir, reporting tonight from Washington, D.C.
Good evening tonight from Washington, D.C. We are here along the banks of the Potomac, the scene of America's deadliest plane crash in nearly 24 years. A U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter on a night training mission colliding with an American Airlines passenger jet, Flight 5342, with 60 passengers and 4 crew members. The jet had taken off from Wichita, Kansas, and was coming in for landing, nearly reaching runway 33 here. Tonight, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy saying, quote, everything was standard in the lead up to the crash. So tonight there are many questions. How could this happen? And you will hear the air traffic controller asking the Black Hawk, do you see the jet? The Army crew answering yes. The images right here tonight, an airport surveillance camera capturing the moment the two aircraft collide, the jet and the Black Hawk falling into the icy Potomac below. The jet breaking into multiple pieces, more than 300 first responders rushing to the scene, firefighters, the U.S. Coast Guard, the Army, and the NTSB. Tonight, my interview with the D.C. fire chief, who told me his team reached the wreckage in the water 10 minutes after the crash. Divers working through the night, searching the waters for any possible survivors. Among those on board, 14 figure skaters, their coaches and family members. On the Black Hawk, 3 U.S. service members, experienced pilots, conducting routine training. By daylight, that rescue effort had turned to recovery. Tonight, we've learned nearly 40 bodies pulled from the water, but officials say the wreckage will need to be lifted to recover the others. We know shortly before the crash, the American flight was asked to change runways. The pilots agreed. They changed course. They were coming in. And we know that air traffic control reached the Black Hawk, and you'll hear the audio. They confirmed seeing that jet. And tonight here, the faces of some of the victims, the young skaters, and President Trump today asking for a moment of silence, but then appearing to imply blame for the crash. But we start here with the investigation, the deadly collision in the air, and so many lives lost.
Tonight, the deadliest air disaster in the U.S. in nearly 24 years. Last night, 8:48 p.m., the deadly catastrophic collision over the Potomac River. An American Airlines regional jet and a U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter colliding. The emergency calls were immediate.
Crash, crash, crash. This is Alert 3. Crash, crash, crash. This is Alert 3.
The regional jet, American Airlines Flight 5342 from Wichita, Kansas, was coming in for landing. Just 2,400 feet left to go.
17. Did you see that?
These images of the deadly collision now being closely examined by federal authorities. The moment captured on an EarthCam live stream at the Kennedy Center. The horror lighting up the night sky in Washington. A fireball in the air, sending both aircraft plummeting into the icy, waist-deep waters of the Potomac. The passenger jet breaking into multiple parts. Some 300 first responders on the scene in minutes, conducting a massive search and rescue operation. Emergency vehicles lining up along the Potomac River, using their lights to illuminate the river. Helicopters flying overhead, using their searchlights to scan the dark, frigid waters. Dive teams searching in the water barely above freezing. Late today, D.C. Fire Chief John Donnelly.
Your team's encountered very challenging conditions.
Yes. The river is dark, it's cold, it's windy, there's ice on there, and they're looking for a plane that's underwater. So it's a very challenging response initially, and within 10 minutes of the accident happening, the first fireboat found the plane and began to conduct what they were hoped to be rescue operations.
Chief, you broke the very difficult news today that there were no survivors here.
Yeah, I can't imagine a worse scenario for rescue operations, and they've been working really hard in it.
What did they find in terms of the fuselage of the plane?
So you see the pictures now. It's broken up, but it's all in the same area.
And the Black Hawk helicopter?
It's in one piece, as best I understand.
Overnight, the grim, agonizing wait for desperate families, many who do not live here, who were watching along with the rest of the country, waiting for word. Tonight, it is now believed 67 lives lost. 60 passengers and 4 crew members on that American Airlines regional jet. 3 service members on board the U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter on a routine training flight, according to the FAA. The service members were all experienced. Tonight, satellite images of the recovery operation on the Potomac, boats gathering near wreckage debris, emergency response vessels nearby, but they were not needed. And while the investigation is still very early, Flight 5342 from Wichita was approaching, preparing to land at Reagan National Airport from the south. Minutes before the jet was to land, air traffic controllers asking the American Airlines flight to change runways, to land on a shorter runway, runway 33. The pilots agreed, and air traffic control clearing them to land. The pilots adjusting their approach and prepared to come in for landing. Reportedly less than 30 seconds before the crash, you hear air traffic control also ask the crew piloting the Black Hawk helicopter if they saw the regional jet. The helicopter pilot says yes.
S25, this is Sergey in flight. S25, F1 is Sergey. S5 has an aircraft in flight for precision separation.
The controller makes another radio call to that helicopter, telling them to pass behind the CRJ, the regional jet. There was no reply. Seconds later, the collision. And with those 60 passengers and 40 crew members on board that plane, the plane's radio transponder stopped transmitting just 2,400 feet before they would have landed. They were just a few hundred feet above the water at that point, right over the middle of the river. Tonight, the NTSB says the investigation has just begun. Today was their first full day on the scene, and there are many questions. Among them, authorities will have to answer whether the helicopter might have mistaken another aircraft in the air as the one air traffic controllers were talking about when they first radioed, asking, "Do you see that jet? Do you have the regional jet in sight?" In some of the surveillance, you can actually see another plane in the air. And that's just one question in this investigation. There are also questions about altitude, why the passenger jet and the Black Hawk were operating at the same altitude, and how they were able to get so close to one another. The passenger jet's flight data recorder expected to shed light whether the American Airlines pilots knew that that Black Hawk was so close. The helicopter, it's believed, also had a recorder. And tonight, the NTSB saying they have not yet recovered either of the black boxes.
We have not recovered the flight data recorders yet. We know they're there. They are underwater. This is not unusual for the NTSB.
Late today, we spoke with an eyewitness who saw that passenger jet in the air. He was driving home from work. Ari Schulman.
Ari, I know you were driving home from work and you saw that regional jet through the window?
I did, yes. I saw it out my left window. I was looking ahead when I was driving, but I looked off to my left knowing that the runway was there and wondering if there might be a plane landing, and I looked and there was. I saw the jet, and when I first looked at it, it was completely normal. It was level flight. Everything looked fine.
And then moments later, you looked out the window and you saw something very different?
Yes, that's right. I saw little snatches of it for about 2 or 3 seconds at a time, but the second time that I looked, it was just a few seconds later, it was turned over on its right side. It had banked all the way to the right. I could see the belly of it underneath. It was lit up a very bright yellow, and there was a stream of sparks coming down the plane. It looked to me like from the head to the tail. I didn't see the helicopter the first time I looked or the second time I looked or at any point after. If it was there, it was very, very hard to see. But that's surely what I saw was the immediate moment after that collision.
And tonight, we're beginning to learn about some of the lives lost. Among them, the American Airlines pilots, Captain Jonathan Campos, 34 years old, and First Officer Samuel Lilly, 29. His family saying he was newly engaged and just months away from being promoted to captain. Also on that flight, U.S. figure skating confirming 14 athletes, skaters, their coaches and family members also on board, returning home from the National Development Camp held in conjunction with the U.S. Figure Skating Championships in Wichita. U.S. Figure Skating saying in a statement, "We are devastated by this unspeakable tragedy and hold the victims' families closely in our hearts." Tonight, Russian state media also reporting 2 Russian world champion skaters were on the plane. They were married. Many of the skaters were from the Skating Club of Boston. Olympic skater Nancy Kerrigan among the alumni of that program. And today she was in tears as she spoke of those young skaters.
The main lesson I think learned in skating is you get back up. Keep on trying, and even when it's hard, you get back up. Even when you're crying, hurt, pain, you get back up and move forward. It's not easy, but that's what we all have to do now together.
Among those lost, U.S. figure skating team member Spencer Lane, just 16 years old. He shared this photo from on board the flight just before taking off from Wichita. And he posted this video of himself skating just yesterday with the caption, I am so happy to have qualified for National Development Camp. It has been my goal almost ever since I became aware that it was a thing. I learned so much and met so many amazing people. One of his coaches today.
This kid was so talented. He'd only started skating a few years ago. He came to me and smiling ear to ear, saying, I get it now. I understand. He started to discover this connection with the audience and that joy that he was giving to other people through his gift.
Tonight, the crash reminding some in the skating community of a 1961 crash that took the lives of 18 members of the national skating team, 16 family members, coaches, judges, and skating officials flying from New York City to the World Championships in Prague. The crash blamed on mechanical failure. Deadly crashes involving commercial aircraft here in the U.S. are extremely rare. The last one near Buffalo, New York in 2009. And here in Washington tonight, many recalling the crash on the Potomac more than 40 years ago in 1982. An Air Florida flight crashing due to bad weather, killing 78 on board.
A loss of life in an aviation accident is very unusual in the United States. And our heartfelt sorrow goes out to everyone that's affected.
And tonight, the D.C. fire chief telling me they now wait for machinery to help move pieces of that jet before they can continue to recover the victims.
Obviously, there are still some victims in that wreckage.
Absolutely.
We know this hasn't been easy for your teams as well.
Not at all.
We thank you. Thank you for all you're doing.
Welcome. Thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
The D.C. fire chief telling me those rescue crews were here in the water and at the wreckage 10 minutes after the crash. And in fact, right over my shoulder here on the Potomac, you can see the control tower there tonight. The airplanes in the sky activity has resumed. And of course, the fast-moving investigation at this hour, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth saying a mistake was made. And what early data reveals tonight about altitude, the Black Hawk flying at 350 feet, authorities on where it should have been. And tonight also questions about whether that one air traffic controller was actually doing the work of two controllers. Gio Benitez covers aviation.
Tonight, as investigators search the wreckage of that midair disaster in the icy Potomac River, an early focus is the flight path of that Army Black Hawk helicopter. That chopper appeared to be flying at about 350 feet, according to early flight data, when it should have been flying under 200 feet. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth tonight.
The military does dangerous things. It does routine things on the regular basis. Tragically, last night, a mistake was made. There was some sort of an elevation issue that we have immediately begun investigating.
D.C. airspace among the busiest in the country. And tonight, a source with direct knowledge confirming reports that the air traffic controller on duty was performing the job normally done by two controllers. This is usually done when there's less air traffic. But last night, that change from two controllers to one was made 40 minutes earlier than usual because of lighter traffic. Late today, the NTSB responding.
We have not reviewed any specific reports about the controllers at this time, at least from the leadership team. Our investigators are continuing to pull all that information, their personnel records, their files, where they were at, whether they were fatigued.
The union for ATC workers saying tonight it stands with a highly trained, highly skilled workforce. Meanwhile, commercial airplanes are equipped with collision avoidance systems designed to prevent these types of crashes. But that system only works at about 1,000 feet or higher. Remember, the plane involved in last night's crash was flying about 350 feet from the ground. Meanwhile, it was a clear night, so experts say the pilot of the Black Hawk helicopter would have been flying visually. And David, we've just learned that the American Airlines flight's black boxes have now been recovered and they are on the way to the NTSB lab. David.
A very important development tonight. Gio Benitez, our thanks to you. And this evening, what we're also learning about the Black Hawk helicopter, the service members on board and their mission. Martha Raddatz is here with me tonight. And Martha, we learned today they had night vision goggles on. You learned that this was routine training and that they were experienced pilots.
They were both very experienced pilots. They have done that run several times themselves in the day, in the night, and they did apparently have those night vision goggles on. That would be unusual if they did not. But that can make make it more difficult. Helicopter pilots I've talked to in the last 24 hours say it is much more difficult with those night vision goggles on because you may think you see that plane in front of you, but they may have been looking at the lights of the city or another plane, David.
Or other aircraft, indeed. All right, Martha Raddatz with us here tonight. Martha, thank you. Meantime, tonight, President Trump coming before the cameras in the White House briefing room today, calling for a moment of silence. And then moments later, the president implying that DEI policies, diversity, equity, and inclusion, might have contributed to the crash. Mary Bruce was in the briefing room.
Tonight, with the recovery effort underway and the investigation only just beginning, President Trump, without any evidence, blaming the diversity policies of his predecessors for the deadly crash.
A group within the FAA, another story, determined that the workforce was too white, that they had concerted efforts to get the administration to change that and to change it immediately.
The president accusing the previous administrations of hiring air traffic controllers based on diversity goals, not qualifications. Are you saying this crash was somehow caused and the result of diversity hiring? And what evidence have you seen to support these claims?
It just could have been. We have a high standard. We've had a much higher standard than anybody else. And there are things where you have to go by brain power.
But Trump also acknowledged he wasn't sure if the air traffic controllers made any mistakes. Former President Biden's Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg responding despicable, saying as families grieve, Trump should be leading, not lying. We put families first, drove down close calls, grew air traffic control, and had 0 commercial airline crash fatalities out of millions of flights on our watch. And David, tonight, President Trump is doubling down on these claims that diversity, equity, and inclusion programs are to blame for this tragedy, saying it's, quote, because I have common sense. But again, he's presented no evidence, and this investigation is only just beginning. David.
Mary Bruce in the briefing room today. Mary, thank you. When we come back here, the other major news of the night, news coming in on the hostages. In fact, 8 have been released in Gaza. And right here in the U.S., millions are on alert right now for severe storms from Texas right up into the Northeast. We'll take you through it.
Weight loss.
For so long,
I felt stuck. But Zepbound means change. Zepbound is for adults with obesity to help lose weight and keep it off.
Activating 2 naturally occurring hormone receptors in my body, it works differently.
It's changing what I believe is possible when it comes to weight loss. It's changing how much weight I lose, up to 48 pounds.
And changing what happens. Don't take if allergic to it, or if you or someone in your family had medullary thyroid cancer or multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Tell your doctor if you get a lump or swelling in your neck. Stop Zepbound and call your doctor if you have severe stomach pain or a serious allergic reaction. Severe side effects may include inflamed pancreas or gallbladder problems. Tell your doctor if you are experiencing vision changes, taking a sulfonylurea or insulin, having suicidal thoughts, if you're nursing, pregnant, plan to be, or taking birth control pills. Side effects include nausea, diarrhea, and vomiting, which can cause dehydration and worsen kidney problems.
Zepbound means change.
And when it comes to weight loss,
change is good. Discover the weight loss you could be bound for. Talk to your doctor about Zepbound.
Look at those beautiful flowers. Oh, I gotta tell Sarah.
Do we need to knock on neighbors' doors to tell them their flowers look good?
I'm just gonna tell her anyway.
Progressive can't save you from becoming your parents, but we can save you money when you bundle home and auto with us.
Advil liquid gels are faster and stronger than Tylenol rapid release gels. Also from Advil, Advil Targeted Relief, the only topical with 4 powerful pain-fighting ingredients that start working on contact and lasts up to 8 hours.
Are you one of the millions of Americans who suffer from an upset stomach after a big meal? Try Pepto-Bismol. Unlike some products, Pepto coats and soothes your digestive system to provide fast 5-symptom relief. Stock up on Pepto today.
Tonight, Hamas freeing 8 more hostages as part of the ceasefire agreement with Israel. 3 Israelis and 5 Thai citizens reuniting with their families. Israel releasing 110 Palestinian prisoners, 30 minors among those set free. When we come back here tonight, tracking these severe storms moving in, millions from Texas all the way up to the Northeast are on alert in a moment.
The darkness of bipolar depression made me feel like I was losing interest in the things I love. Then I found a chance to let in the light.
Discover Caplyta. Unlike some medicines that only treat bipolar 1, Caplyta is proven to deliver significant symptom relief from both bipolar 1 and 2 depression. And in clinical trials, movement disorders and weight gain were not common.
Caplyta can cause serious side effects. Call your doctor about sudden mood changes, behaviors, or suicidal thoughts right away. Antidepressants may increase these risks in young adults. Elderly dementia patients have increased risk of death or stroke. Caplyta is not approved for dementia-related psychosis. Report fever, confusion, or stiff muscles which may be life-threatening, or uncontrolled muscle movements which may be permanent. Common side effects include sleepiness, dizziness, nausea, and dry mouth. These aren't all the side effects.
In the darkness of bipolar 1 and 2 depression, Caplyta can help you let in the light. Ask your doctor about Caplyta. Find savings and support at caplyta.com.
For people who feel limited by the unpredictability of generalized myasthenia gravis, season to season, Ultomiris is continuous symptom control with improvement in activities of daily living and reduced muscle weakness. And Ultomiris is the only long-acting GMG treatment with the freedom of just 6 to 7 infusions per year. For a predictable routine I can count on.
Ultomiris may lower your immune system's ability to fight infections, increasing your chance of serious meningococcal and other infections which may become life-threatening or fatal. Complete or update meningococcal vaccines at least 2 weeks before you start. If treatment is urgent and you're not vaccinated, you should receive antibiotics with your vaccines. Don't start if you have a meningococcal infection. Infusion reactions may include back, belly, limb or chest pain, muscle spasms, blood pressure changes, tiredness, shaking chills, bad taste, breathing problems, or face, tongue, or throat swelling. Ultomiris is continuous symptom control. Ask your neurologist about starting Ultomiris.
My doctor's office with a filing system from the 80s has my social.
Think of all the places that can expose your info. LifeLock monitors millions of data points for identity theft. If there's a problem, we fix it. Guaranteed.
Tonight, we're tracking a powerful cross-country storm, flash flooding and severe storms stretching from Texas to Kentucky. The system moves into the Northeast tomorrow. In fact, heavy rain and winds from D.C. to New York City all the way up to Boston. When we come back here tonight, a powerful image tonight for those young skaters lost.
Stay ahead of your child's moderate to severe eczema with Dupixent as they welcome the feeling of touch with clear skin and less itch. The #1 prescribed biologic by dermatologists and allergists helps heal their skin from within. Severe allergic reactions can occur. Get help right away for face, mouth, tongue, or throat swelling, wheezing, or trouble breathing. Tell your doctor of new or worsening eye problems like eye pain, vision changes, or blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma or other medicines without talking to your doctor. Ask your child's doctor about Dupixent.
OsteoBiflex. Taken every day, it's clinically shown to improve joint comfort in 7 days with significant improvement over time.
The average dog only lives to be 10. That's 10 birthdays, 10 first summer swims, 10 annual camping trips. At the Farmer's Dog, we don't think that's long enough. That's why our freshly made food comes pre-portioned, just for your dog. Because a dog at a healthy weight can live a longer, happier life.
Type 2 diabetes? Discover the Ozempic Trizone. I got the power of 3. I lowered my A1C, CV risk, and lost some weight.
In studies, the majority of people reached an A1C under 7 and maintained it.
I'm under 7.
Ozempic lowers the risk of major cardiovascular events such as stroke, heart attack, or death in adults also with known heart disease.
I'm lowering my risk.
And adults lost up to 14 pounds.
I lost some weight.
Ozempic isn't for type 1 diabetes or children. Don't share needles or pens or reuse needles. Don't take if you or your family had MTC, MEN2, or if allergic to it. Stop taking and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, or any of these allergic reactions. Tell your provider if you plan to have surgery or a procedure, are breastfeeding, pregnant, or plan to be. Serious side effects may include inflammation of pancreas, gallbladder problems, or changes in vision. Call your prescriber if you have any of these symptoms. Taking with the sulfonylurea or insulin may increase low blood sugar risk. Common side effects include nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, stomach pain, constipation. Some side effects lead to dehydration, which may worsen kidney problems. Living with type 2 diabetes?
Ask about the power of 3 with Ozempic.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, to check your outfit first before meeting your girlfriend's family.
That's a tough one to recover from, Steve. The disappointment on their faces says it all.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
I'm Judy Sue. Tonight at 6, the deadly midair collision over D.C. People around Chicago with close connections to the victims who were on board. And heavy rain expected in the morning. We are timing it out for you on Eyewitness News at 6.
Before we go, so many lives lost. American Airlines employees seen hugging here at Reagan National Airport today. In Wichita, a prayer vigil for loved ones and a tribute of 6 white roses at the Skating Club of Boston for those young skaters. I'm David Muir reporting from Washington. Good night.
Tonight, tragedy in the skies. The I-team digging into the collision of a passenger jet and a helicopter over D.C. What we know about a shortage of air traffic controllers.
More than a dozen people returning from a figure skating competition killed in that crash. The people around Chicago with a close connection to the victims.
And rain moving in overnight. It could be coming down hard in the morning.
Live from Chicago, ABC 7 Eyewitness News at 6 starts right now.
And we start tonight with that rain moving into Chicago. Some showers this evening, but the heaviest rain comes in the morning.
And there's a risk of flooding in all this. Water management officials are calling it an overflow action day, and they're warning people about the potential for sewer backups.
Meteorologist Larry Mowry is here with what we can expect. Larry.
Yeah, here's the concern. The ground is frozen, so when we get the heavier downpours to move in, which will start up tomorrow morning, that could lead to some localized flooding because that water's not going to seep into the ground. It's going to run down into the streets and the drains and everything and cause some problems for us tomorrow morning. It's already starting right now. Now, these are some decent showers coming on through, but tomorrow morning it gets a lot heavier. You can see the rain from the city back towards DuPage County. That band of rain will continue to kind of stretch across the area as we go through the evening. Heaviest rain tonight is down to our south, but here's the batch of rain that moves in tomorrow morning. And look what happens on our futurecast here. Around 7, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning tomorrow morning, here we go. Look at these bands of real heavy rain, possibly some thunder with these downpours too. We could put down maybe a ½ to 1.5 inches of rainfall tomorrow morning, which could cause some localized flooding. We'll talk more about when this rain moves out and your weekend forecast coming up.
All right, Larry, thank you. These warming temperatures you speak about leading to dangerous conditions on area lakes. A 70-year-old man is missing tonight after an ATV dropped through thin ice in Twin Lakes. Wisconsin authorities telling us that 2 other people who were also on the ATV made it out of the water safely and they were not hurt.
And now to the new information tonight on that deadly midair crash at Reagan National Airport. An American Airlines plane coming in for a landing when it collided with a military Black Hawk helicopter and then plummeting into the Potomac River.
And right now, officials believe that there are no survivors, and that makes this America's deadliest plane crash in at least 15 years. We are seeing new video captured by a vehicle dashboard camera. Take a look. That's showing the moment right there that the disaster struck. A flash of light when the aircraft crashes. They crash into each other. Also new tonight, a source tells ABC News the black boxes from the jet have been recovered. And of the 67 people believed dead, around 45 have been recovered from the icy water. And tonight, dive teams have ceased their operations so crews can remove wreckage from the river.
Many of the victims were part of the figure skating community. Tonight, we're hearing from people here in our area feeling the impact impact of this tragedy. But we start right now with a question on many Americans' minds tonight. How could this happen?
Indeed. The ABC 7i team tracking the investigation. Our investigative reporter, Mark Rivera, joining us right now, and he's got the very latest. Mark?
Yeah, Ravi and Judy, air traffic control staffing issues are front and center in this investigation as recovery efforts, as you mentioned, cease for now with those 45 bodies found in the icy waters of the Potomac. The ABC 7i team learning just minutes ago the black box recorder from that American Airlines flight has been recovered. The ABC 7i team shining light on ongoing air traffic controller staffing issues for years. Now new questions after that fiery collision between an Army Black Hawk helicopter and passenger jet. All 67 people aboard the aircrafts presumed dead.
We have not reviewed any specific reports about the controllers at this time.
Right now, it's not known how many air traffic controllers were in the Reagan Tower at the time of the crash, but according to an FAA report obtained by the Associated Press, staffing in the tower was, quote, not normal at the time of the collision. The ABC 7i team reporting just 2 months ago on local controller staffing issues at the Air Route Traffic Control Center in Aurora, where planes across the Midwest are sequenced and separated. Staffing then was only at 82%, according to the union representing controllers.
We would love to be 100% staffed, that's for sure.
This is the National Air Traffic Controllers Association union says staffing for controllers has decreased nationwide by 9% from 2011 to 2023 as flights have increased in that same period.
If you work on this job long enough, you come across this stuff. It's very unfortunate.
Michael Julius is a 32-year air traffic control veteran with decades spent in the tower at Midway Airport, now training the next generation at Lewis University in Romeoville.
The simple fact of the matter is it's a very serious business that we're in, and most times it goes by unnoticed.
He says even with numerous technologies used to help pilots and controllers, the work he did for years is...
It's just no different than driving a vehicle down the road. If you sit there and try to drive staring at your speed to make sure you don't break the speed limit, you're not going to see what's in front of you. You got to get your head up. You got to be out the window. You got to use your technology appropriately. And that's what we do every day.
The American flight from Wichita, Kansas was cleared for landing after a last-minute but routine runway change. The Army helicopter was on its routine usual path for night training, but flying at 350 feet instead of 200. Audio from air traffic control reveals the military pilot acknowledged he saw the jet approaching the runway.
This club has an aircraft inside precision separation.
U.S. Senator Tammy Duckworth has flown Blackhawks herself.
That crew would be looking out of the aircraft, actively trying to spot the landing aircraft, especially since they had just acknowledged with air traffic control that they were looking for them.
Recovery teams now bracing for the real possibility that not all of the victims' bodies will be recovered because of the fireball that occurred with that collision. Efforts for more of the victims, they can't continue at this time until the fuselage is removed from the Potomac.
As Judy was just saying, every detail in the story is so chilling.
I know, it's so many are coming out every second. It's incredible.
All right, Mark, thank you. And the grief is just unimaginable here tonight. We now know 14 figure skaters returning from a national competition in Kansas were on the American Airlines jet when it crashed. This tragedy now rippling through the tight-knit community around that sport.
And our John Garcia talking with skaters in the Chicago area.
Lorenzo Elano should be celebrating his junior national championship victory over the weekend. Instead, as he skates through practice this morning, his thoughts are on the 14 members of the skating community killed in the midair collision over Washington, D.C. last night.
The skating community is very close. It's very welcoming, and everybody knows everybody, so it's very hard.
Ilano's coach, Jeremy Allen, has been around the sport for most of his life. He grew up hearing about the 1961 plane crash that killed the U.S. national team on their way to the World Championships. He never imagined it could happen again.
I had one good friend on the plane, and then other acquaintances that that professional acquaintances. Very sad morning for me.
Among those killed, several skaters, parents, and coaches, many from the Skating Club of Boston. Jaing Johnson of Barrington was close with several of those skaters and spoke to them before the plane took off last night.
It was such a shock. I would never imagine something like this to happen, especially to our skating community. So many losses.
Alexa Gasparotto was in Wichita at Nationals over the weekend and looking forward to seeing many of those who died at the next competition.
Just in shock. There's not many words I feel like I personally could say.
Several of the skaters here say they have plans to travel to international competitions in the coming weeks, but the idea of getting on a plane right now is very unsettling. In Buffalo Grove, John Garcia, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
When Reagan National reopened today, some of the first flights were headed to Chicago, and some of those travelers caught a glimpse of the wreckage from last night's crash just as they were leaving Washington.
When we took off, we were really able to see what the outline was for the emergency, where it was. And you could see the skid in the ice from the water.
It was very crazy. It definitely was. It's even crazier knowing that usually I fly American and usually out of D.C.
Several more flights are scheduled to arrive in Chicago from Washington, and we will continue to track the very latest developments on this tragedy. You can always find updates on ABC 7 Chicago News app and wherever you stream ABC 7.
Other news here tonight, the city of Chicago is looking at regulating hemp. Tensions flared as a city council committee met today. 6th Ward Alderman William Hall is pushing for the city of Chicago to regulate and tax hemp on its own. He is fighting against the state plan requiring hemp products that have the same effect as cannabis be sold only in dispensaries. But other aldermen fear the city of Chicago cannot regulate hemp on its own.
Hemp is legal federally. What we want to do is include as many people as possible that are doing it right.
If we're going to be taxing something that it's a responsible product, it's a process that's been vetted carefully.
The Finance Committee will review comments from today's hearing and will make revisions to the ordinance.
Today was the first meeting of Chicago's new elected school board, protecting students in undocumented families, a key subject of discussion. The school CEO, Pedro Martinez, reminding parents the district will protect kids from federal agents. One school board member suggesting a way to get students to school if parents are simply too afraid to take them.
One of the things that we are trying to do is set up community groups of people who would meet the children at their homes and walk the children to school.
Now, there was concern from another board member about the trauma and the fear caused by Secret Service agents arriving at Hamline Elementary last Friday. CPS protocols were put in place when the principal mistakenly thought the agents were immigration agents.
And still ahead tonight, a crash involving a garbage truck leaving 2 people dead. What officials are saying about this violent wreck in Will County. A
murder victim found tied up in the basement of a home on Chicago's northwest side. And we have an update tonight on the suspects who are now in custody.
And how Cook County State's Attorney Eileen O'Neill Berg says her office will now go after illegal gun modifications.
You're watching Eyewitness News live on ABC 7, Hulu Plus Live TV, and wherever you stream.
Looking to get stronger? Join Planet Fitness today.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
We're going to feel this tomorrow. You coming?
Save $28 or more. Just $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends January 31st.
A Sleep Number smart bed is perfect for couples. The Climate 360 smart bed is the only bed that cools and warms on each side. And all our smart beds adjust the firmness for each of you. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Shop a Sleep Number store near you.
Save time and money on your staining project with Menards. Add beautiful color to your projects with Minwax water-based wood finish. This penetrating stain delivers color that showcases wood grain in one single coat and dries in 1 hour. Get a quart for $15.49. Protect your projects with a top coat finish. Minwax polyacrylic is a fast-drying water-based polyurethane that provides lasting protection for all types of wood surfaces. A quart is just $26.96.
Save big money at Menards. Looking to get stronger? Join Planet Fitness today.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
We're going to feel this tomorrow. You coming?
Save $28 or more. Just $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends January 31st.
Download the ABC 7 Chicago News app.
Ready to have some fun? Yeah. Somebody's having a night tonight.
Tonight at 6:30 on ABC 7.
We're on.
with what's new this morning. What's happening now?
And what's next for you, Chicago?
Get what's new now.
And next at 4:30, 5 and 6.
And right here at 7A.
Because we're on all morning long.
Eyewitness News Mornings and GMA.
The Illinois State Police are investigating how 2 people were killed today in a crash with a garbage truck. Chopper 7 capturing the aftermath of this wreck on US 45 in Will County. Troopers there telling us that besides the garbage truck, 2 passenger vehicles were involved here. 4 people survived and they were taken to the hospital with injuries. And sources tell ABC 7 that 2 people are in custody in connection with the murder of a man who was found tied up in a Northwest Side home. On Sunday, a woman told police that she found her brother, George Levin, restrained inside a bedroom in the basement of this home in Norwood Park. The coroner's office saying that the 63-year-old died from multiple injuries, and we are working to learn more about the circumstances around this murder.
Cook County State's Attorney Eileen O'Neill-Berg saying that her office will crack down on illegal gun modifications. Speaking at the Union League Club today, the state's attorney saying that prosecutors will seek detention and jail time for those using a conversion switch that can turn firearms into machine guns.
Our position is if you're carrying a weapon of war that can fire off 30 rounds in 1 second, you are a danger to the public.
While O'Neill-Berg spoke, a group rallied outside of that event, calling for more work to address wrongful convictions. She responded saying that the Conviction Integrity Unit continues to evaluate cases.
All right, rain is moving into Chicago right now. We see it out our studio windows here on State Street, and it could be coming down during your morning commute. So Larry will have details on the timing.
Also coming up, fine dining coming back to Inglewood, the return of a restaurant that has been shuttered since the pandemic.
And in sports, Dwayne Wade opening up about a kidney surgery that led to a cancer scare.
Football and a Super Bowl team helping kids learn.
How did we get to learning about the thousands place value?
By Saquon Barkley.
By his rushing yards.
Tomorrow, the Philly teacher and her students soaring just like on Good Morning America.
This winter at Goodman Theater, stage and screen stars Helen Hunt, Robert Sean Leonard, and Jan Barford star in artistic director Susan V. Booth's major revival of Pinter's masterwork play, Betrayal.
In our winter, the forts aren't made of snow. There's no such thing as wind chill. The only thing frozen is your cocktail. And our people shine as bright as the sun. Feel the warmth. Live Boricua.
The Ford family of SUVs, proud sponsor of winter. Choose FlexBuy on Escape and get 1.9% APR financing for 66 months, plus $2,000 FlexBuy cash. Only your local Ford dealer.
Did you know vein disease can start in your 20s and worsen over time, causing pain, aching, and heaviness in your legs? Take the first step to healthy, pain-free legs by calling United Vein Centers. Bulging leg veins are not merely cosmetic. They're often a health issue that can worsen if untreated. At United Vein Centers, our minimally invasive treatments result in little to no downtime and are covered by Medicare and most health insurance. Trust your legs to United Vein Centers. Call 1-800-NEW-LEGS today to schedule your free vein screening at one of our locations.
Helen Hunt, Robert Sean Leonard, and Jan Barford star in a major revival of Pinter's masterwork play at Goodman Theater, directed by artistic director Susan V. Booth. Betrayal.
I mentioned a moment ago it was raining outside of our studio windows, and there is the scene right now on State Street. Rain around Chicago tonight. It could be coming down heavier however, tomorrow morning.
Yeah, only if it could just like wash our cars and make it cleaner.
Yeah, exactly.
Meteorologist Larry Maurer is here with a full forecast right now.
Well,
the timing of that rain.
Yeah, well, the rain will help washing the cars, that's for sure. And it's going to get heavier tomorrow morning as we get some rounds of some real heavy downpours first thing tomorrow morning. But this evening, the rain has started in a lot of areas, mainly some shower activity this evening, and then we'll have some light rain, drizzle, and fog overnight tonight. Tomorrow morning, between about 6 a.m. and noontime is the window of time when we'll get the heavier downpours to push on through. And we're talking some rainfall totals up around 1/2 inch to 1.5 inches of rain for most locations during this window of time, which could potentially lead to some localized flooding. Of course, the ground's still frozen. There's ice on the rivers, so there could be some ice jams and some localized flooding where the rain really comes down during the morning commute. Right now, temperatures have dropped off from an afternoon high that got to 50 this afternoon. Warmest day of the year so far. Now we're down to the low 40s at O'Hare Midway, upper 30s to the south where the rain first started. We've got this band of rain right over the city, back over DuPage County, all the way back into parts of Kane and DeKalb County. This is just slowly lifting off towards the east, northeast. We'll see off and on showers through the course of the evening, with the heavier rain staying well to our south here overnight tonight. But you see this area of rain back across Kansas and Missouri. That's the area of rain that will spread in during the day tomorrow and really produce some heavy downpours for us. So let's time this out. As we go through the evening, again, showers, light rain, drizzle, fog overnight tonight, but 6, 7, and then here's 8:30 in the morning. Look at these bands of heavy rain right over top of us. These are really good downpours here. Going to be very cold rain too, with temperatures in the upper 30s and low 40s. Could hear some thunder at times tomorrow morning and some of the heavier downpours. And eventually this will wind down as we head into the early afternoon and end from west to east. Yesterday, I was thinking we might get some snowflakes mixed in. Don't think that's likely to happen now, as temperatures will stay warm enough until the precipitation ends, and then you can see temperatures dropping into the mid-30s by about 5 o'clock tomorrow evening. But look at our raincast. There's going to be a real heavy swath of rain that sees, some areas see 1.5 to 2 inches of rainfall, potentially over the city down to the south and west, but this band could wander north or south. But it gives you the idea here that there's going to be some very heavy rain tomorrow morning, and with the frozen ground and the ice on the rivers, we'll watch for some ice jams to develop during the day tomorrow and even into Saturday as that water just continues to run down off the land into the rivers. And we'll get that heavy rain at times tonight into tomorrow morning. So overnight tonight, we drop into the upper 30s and low 40s. Tomorrow we'll see temperatures stay pretty steady in the upper 30s and low 40s, with the bulk of the rain coming in the morning and then drying out as we go into the afternoon. Today we had a high of 50. 26 the low, close to the record high of 55 set back in 1988. So tomorrow we'll see temperatures much cooler than today, low 40s. Cold on Saturday. Sunday will warm back up. Look at Groundhog Day, up to 53 degrees. But next week's looking, well, kind of chilly. Temperatures in the 30s with maybe a little wintry mix on Tuesday and on Wednesday. But Ravi and Judy, tomorrow morning, the morning commute's going to be not great. It's going to be wet and real heavy rain coming down at times too, which will certainly slow things down, and watch out for the potential flooding.
Okay, yeah, got it. Thanks, Larry.
Thanks, sir. A student-run restaurant at Kennedy King College reopening today, this after closing during the pandemic. Sakia is a place for students to prepare for careers in the culinary arts, and they are eager to get to work.
I worked in healthcare for about 10 years, so I'm finally getting a chance to live my dream through culinary.
Here's to the new beginnings and delicious creations that I have to come.
We wish them well. Yes. Sakia, yeah, the only fine dining restaurant in Chicago's Inglewood neighborhood, hopefully the first of many.
Yeah, now returning. Okay, coming up, Bears head coach Ben Johnson bringing in a mix of experience to join him on the sidelines.
And so we're going to get to hear from his new offensive and defensive coordinators. That's next up in Sports with Ryan.
Here, anything is possible, as long as you can imagine it. And that's what makes Orlando unbelievably real.
Now's the perfect time for your new adventure. So, catch a wave. AutoNation Toyota is here to help get you out there. Drive a new Toyota Tundra SR5 with low 1.99% financing. Visit AutoNation Toyota today.
To everyone who's hungry for something special,
Culver's is the place for us. Hi, what can I make fresh for you today? It's nice being greeted by people who are glad to see you. And I appreciate that they use real ingredients, like fresh beef and Wisconsin cheese. The frozen custard is so fresh and creamy, it tastes like it was made just for us. It's our pleasure. Just spending time with family, that's what mealtime at Culver's is all about.
from Wisconsin with love,
Welcome to Delicious!
People's Gas. They keep pushing to raise your utility bills to pay for their $13 billion boondoggle. And if they win, it'll be like giving them a blank check. Your heating bills could double. Customers could face yearly price hikes through the year 2040, all while they keep making record profits. The ICC has already stopped them once, so speak up and tell the ICC to shut down these unfair rate hikes again.
At Eli's Cheesecake, we're always thinking ahead. How can we make our products in people's lives better?
Working with Wintrust, you get all of the resources of a big bank, but with that personalized care and attention. Just feel fortunate to work with a bank that really understands our business and our values.
The philosophy at Wintrust of supporting customers for multi-generation success is absolutely critical, and we really couldn't ask for more support.
Sports on ABC7, sponsored by Wintrust, Chicago's bank. Different approach, better results. Member FDIC. The next Jeopardy champion could be you.
That's amazing.
Welcome back. Tonight, the 18th ranked Illini are on the road to take on Nebraska, and Illinois will once again be without its starting center because of illness, but the Illini are still favored, mainly because they know how to win on the road.
Our teams have always played pretty good. We tried to on the road. I think there's maybe it's like, we like people booing at us and screaming at us and cussing at us, and but it's every game's different, and every focus and every matchup, and court's 94 feet, the rim's 10 feet, and that sounds very cliche, but we're just going to go out and play the best against that opponent, no matter where it's at.
Tip-off 7:30. Hall of Famer in Chicago and Dwayne Wade revealed on his podcast that he had surgery on his right kidney in 2023. It was to remove a tumor that was later deemed cancerous. The three-time NBA champ said a full body scan discovered it, and after multiple doctors recommended surgery, Wade proceeded, and he is thankful he did. Glad he's okay. On to the Bears. Richard Hightower is back as their special teams coordinator. As for the others, it's a combination of youth and experience. Offensively, Declan Doyle is the youngest OC in the NFL at age just 28. And on defense, Dennis Allen, the former Saints head coach, has a decade of experience as D coordinator. He tells us why he wanted to work under Ben.
I knew that he was going to be a grinder, a hard worker, tireless. And I knew that he had a clear vision of what he wanted this team to look like, and I think that aligns with, kind of what I think we should be, and how I think this team should be, and in particular how I want this defense to be.
I've been, preparing for this job, from the very beginning. The last 10 years have kind of culminated in, arriving here. This is something that. I'm very excited about. I'm very excited to be here, but I wasn't, sitting there looking out the front of the car, looking at the next thing.
I can't say enough about the way that their vision is and the way they want to run this organization. And on top of that, with Ben, it's just magic. We hit it off from the jump when we talked and when he called, and I'm grateful for his transparency. And all I want to do is help Ben Johnson win games. That's all I want to do.
Yeah, let's go. And finally, how about this shot by the Wizards' Kyle Kuzma over the backboard and in? He was expecting to get fouled, but he didn't get the call. He throws up a prayer, and it's a perfect swish. Somewhere, Larry Bird is smiling. You remember that? 1986.
I don't remember him doing that for the Bulls. There was a time. There was a time.
No? Okay, that was perfect, though. All right, let's meet some penguins. The newest rockhopper penguins at the Shedd Aquarium now have names. Shedd employees voted, and they picked Pico and Douglas. The male penguins hatched at the shed back in June. You can spot them in the polar play zone. So Pico and Douglas.
They are pretty darn cute, aren't
they? They are cute.
All right, worth a visit over there. But that's it for us here on Eyewitness News at 6 o'clock. Lots more live local news just moments away.
You can find Eyewitness News at 6:30 wherever you stream, and join us back here for Eyewitness News at 10.
Amanda Riley was a mother, wife.
Everybody loved her. I heard the words, "You have stage 3 blood cancer." We gave our hearts, our prayers.
We thought she was God's gift, but she was a liar.
Why would somebody fake cancer?
There's all these pictures of her in the hospital with IVs, tubing. It was only a matter of time until Amanda's whole world came tumbling down.
Oh my God!
Scamanda premieres tonight on ABC and stream on Hulu.
In a wreck and thinking about dealing with the insurance company yourself? Stop! People represented by an attorney get more than 3 times the money than those who don't have an attorney.
Lerner and Rowe are the lawyers for you. Call 222-2222. Smooth on the map, never smooth on the map, never smooth. What you gonna do when you have, when you wait, when you really about it, don't you, don't you? Really on the move on the map, never slip, your hands to your left, don't you, don't you? Wait, when you really about it, don't you, don't you? Really on the move on the map, never slip, your hands to your left.
Owning a food truck was my dream, but my back and leg pain made every day a struggle. Then my personalized arch support system from the Good Feet store got me back in the picture.
Clinically proven to provide significant pain relief in only 4 weeks.
I'm back to being the best version of myself.
Get back in the picture. The Good Feet store. Book your free fitting at goodfeet.com.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time to drive smarter with high-tech features and excellent reliability from the Kelley Blue Book Best Value brand. Right now, you can get a 3.9% APR on a 2025 HRV.
$10 million in a pedestrian accident, $5 million in a car accident. These are just a few of our recent results.
Hurt in a wreck? Need a check?
We're Lerner and Rowe. Make one call, that's all.
Lerner and Rowe are the lawyers for you. Call 222-2222.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are the stars of our show, Ryan Seacrest and Vanna White.
Hey, Jim Thornton.
Thank you.
Nice to see y'all. Okay, here we go. Hi, you three. Looking forward to meeting you. Your first toss-up is worth $1,000. The category is song title, and Vanna starts us off on the board. Here we go. Maryland.
Hotel California.
Eagles hit, you got it. $1,000. Marilyn Herod from Louisville, Kentucky.
Yes,
So
hi,
you like
Ryan.
smooth jazz.
I love smooth jazz, Ryan. Yes, I have been a fanatic about smooth jazz for so many years. I love the greatest. I love the old ones, the jazz musicians, and I love the new ones.
You love them all.
All of them.
Because
yes.
they're smooth.
Yes. Very smooth.
And you do something pretty fun with your grandson. Tell me about that.
I do. Well, Ryan, you know, when he was a little boy, I would get out there and shoot basketball with him, and I would just show off. And now he's like here. He blocks my shot. I can't even take a shot anymore with him. So, but it's exciting because he's always wanted to be taller than me. So now he is.
I know the feeling. Would you say you're better or worse than LeBron James?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't want to embarrass LeBron. So I'll just say he's better
Okay,
for
all
now.
right.
But between us.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Well, nice to meet you. Sean Turbees from Waupun, Wisconsin.
That is correct.
All right. Tell me about your city there. What's it like?
Ooh, what's it like? It's a real small town, about 10,000 people.
Little town.
3 stoplights, maybe a quick trip, something like that. But awesomely, amazingly, and beautifully quiet. All in one. Used to live in a lot of big cities throughout my years, but when I come back there, I can relax. I can be in my serendipity state, and it helps me write.
And you're a writer?
Yes.
Oh, great. You also play Wheel of Fortune there at home?
Well, I used to work for a company that would have an annual summit every year. So it's for prospects and clients, but I would always be in charge of the fun activity at the end of the conference, and I always chose Wheel of Fortune. I always made the mistake, though. I played the host Pat and host Vanna at the same time, and it just caused screw-ups.
You played both roles at the same time?
Yeah, so when someone would call a letter, I just didn't flip the right letters over. It'd screw everything up.
Well, you're going to be great tonight, Sean. Nice to have you. And Denise Robinson from La Hui, Hawaii.
Yes.
Yeah? Originally from New York City?
I am, yes.
Isn't that the antithesis there in Hawaii?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So I was like living in a very, concrete jungle, and now I live in a beautiful jungle.
Do you miss anything about that concrete jungle?
I mean, my family, I got to say that, right? Yeah.
And if you don't like them, you don't have to say it. It's up to you.
But yeah, it's paradise. I live in paradise now. So.
And tell me about the roller derby team.
So I am a jammer, and I'm the person that makes the points for the other girls on my team. So basically, I have to get past the other blockers on the other team who are trying to basically hurt me.
Are you better or worse than LeBron James?
Oh, well, I can embarrass LeBron James and say that I am.
Grab those
way
devices,
better.
you guys. Second toss-up for $2,000. Let's get to it and have some fun. The category for this one is place. Vanna starts us off on the board, and here we go. Good luck. Denise. Everybody else.
New Zealand.
Maryland.
The Heartland.
Yeah, that's it. The Heartland is what we're looking for. There, you got it. That's a good try, Denise. We're just getting warmed up tonight. Our first round puzzle is a Wheel of Fortune crossword. The clue is ice blank. Ice blank. And Marilyn, you've won the right to start spinning, so good luck. Give it a good spin, and here we go. $600.
T.
No T. Sorry about that. Sean.
All right.
$600.
N.
There are two N's up there in the puzzle. $650.
R, please.
There are three R's.
Can I buy an E?
You can get three E's for that buy. Then I'll put those in there. $650.
K.
Yeah, there's one K.
I'd like to buy an I.
And there are a pair of I's in the puzzle. $600.
B.
Yes, there is a B. Sean, you got $3,900.
I'd like to buy A.
And we'll give you two A's. That's going to wipe out all the vowels. There you go, $700.
G.
One G. $600.
Can I get the S?
You can get the S. There's one. $800.
F.
There is an F. One of those.
What the heck, Ryan? Let's finish this off.
You're going to spin again?
I'm going to spin it again.
All right, Sean. Okay, Sean.
Let's get that H.
Now he's showing off.
No. It's a solve.
Be very careful. Read what's only up there on the board. Go ahead.
Fishing. Breaker. Rink. Age.
Sean has accomplished the first mission of that puzzle. You worried me a little bit when you were going to spin again. That bankrupt can show up.
There was one letter that was...
well played. $8,250 for you, Sean. And we are just getting started tonight. We'll be right back after this. Stay where you are. Nice to...
Where can you kick off the new year with gig speed and big savings?
Only with Xfinity, get gig internet at home for $25 a month when you add Xfinity Mobile, which connects you to gig speed Wi-Fi on the road. Save more than $650 over AT&T and Verizon. Plus, hurry and get a free 5G phone. So save big and stay connected with gig speed internet and mobile. From home to hotspots, this new year, it's all about savings on gig speeds. Visit Xfinity.com/gig savings today.
Save big money with these great deals going on now at Menards. A 2-pack of 64-ounce liquid hand soap refills is just $5.99. Fabric drawer organizers are only $109. Clean up with Arm & Hammer laundry detergent, just $7.99. Packs of Ghirardelli chocolate squares are only $4.49. These great deals won't last long, so save today. Plus, sign up for Menards emails to get more big savings right to your inbox.
Save big money at Menards.
A luxury Mercedes-Benz experience doesn't start when you're driving or even when you first get behind the wheel. It starts here at Mercedes-Benz of Naperville and Westmont, where we treat you like you're our only customer. And with so many Mercedes-Benz to choose, you're sure to find yours. Like a new 2025 Mercedes-Benz GLE 350 SUV for $819 a month. Start your luxury journey now at Mercedes-Benz of Naperville and Westmont.
Tonight's show is brought to you by the following.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's best eggs. They're just so delicious, with better nutrition too. Eggland's best.
Skating for over 45 years has taken a toll on my body. I take Cunol Turmeric because it helps with healthy joints and inflammation support. Cunol, the brand I trust.
Tonight's mystery round is brought to you by Prevagen.
I'm not an actor, I'm just a regular person. I want people to know that Prevagen has worked for me. Give it a try.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription.
$10,000.
All right, let's get to it. The category is landmark for this puzzle. Sean, you'll start the spinning.